The UP Football All-Star Game is brought to you by Northern Michigan Bank.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Superior Dome. I'm Mike Ludlam. I'll be joined by Mark Evans in just a few minutes. We are trying something at TV6 that hasn't been done since TV6 has been on the air. Cover a UP All-Star High School football game. We will have an East squad, we will have a West squad, and it's a new concept for us, so we have a lot of things to learn in the next couple of hours. As you can see, we have a picture, we have sound, we're off to a good start. We'll be back with more in just a few minutes. And we're back at the Superior Dome. Again, I'm Mike Ludlow. Mark Evans joins me upstairs today, help me try and keep everything straight with 80-plus players. And Mark, kind of a concept that we haven't seen in a long time. In fact, since 1951, a UP All-Star football game, and I know the kids have to be incredibly excited.
Well, not only the kids here, Mike. It's the coaching staff gets a chance to kind of keep their hands in football during the summertime. The fans get one last salute for some kids that have, you watch, Friday Night Fever. We see the heroics that these kids go through each and every Friday night. So it'll be nice to get a final look at a Chad Delangelo, for example, or a Casey Harris, kids that we see here locally. The other nice thing here is it's a chance for fans to see these kids in person that you featured every Friday night from Ontonagon, from Sault Ste. Marie. A lot of folks have not had a chance to see, say, Cody Kangas from Manistee. You're going to get that upfront personal look at these kids, and it's almost a shame, quite honestly, that it's been 57 years since this kind of showcase and this kind of highlight has been there. It's exciting to be a small part of this.
And we'd like to say hello to the referees since we have a shot of them on the field. Your referee this afternoon is Ed Angeli. Your umpire is Larry Barton. The field judge is Mike Angeli. The head linesman is Jeff Marshall. And the back judge is Rick Wales. So we have a Marquette area crew. We have a Lakeland and Hubble chain gang. I did hear about this, so Forest Park fans will be very happy for the Lakeland and chain gang for the first time in the history of Upper Peninsula High School football.
And if I heard correctly, we've also got a Lakeland and Hubble ball boy crew working both sidelines here as well.
Lakeland and Hubble will do more passing than we've ever seen before as well. This is the first time we've had this all-star game between the East and the West. Now, back between 1946 and 1951, it was a North-South battle. The North won the first two games. The South won the last four. So today, East or West will take the lead. And we will have more tidbits and other wonderful stuff when we come back. We're back live at the Superior Dome. I'm Mark Ludlam along with Mark Evans, and we will be... The color guard has just come out for our national anthem.
A couple of real nice announcements there. Some of these young men have enlisted into our armed services, and they were acknowledged just prior to the anthem. soon-to-be 8th grader Lizzie Grugan from Bothwell Middle School here in Marquette. And Mike, that name probably should be a little familiar with the band connection at Northern Michigan University, daughter of Stephen Grugan, who is the director of bands here at NMU.
Thank you, Mark. I knew you had some good trivia about that. And this game is full of trivia because when you don't play an all-star game in 57 years, you have a little catching up to do.
Well, the nice thing, too, is we get to create our own trivia here tonight. Hopefully this is the beginning of a tradition, but, here we are, Michael, and all the pomp and circumstance and the contests and the fun is out of the way. Now we get to watch some football here on a late June afternoon.
I think if I remember correctly, the West won the toss. They are the ones in the white shirts, and the West will receive, and they will be receiving on the right side of your TV screen or on the right side of your internet if you're listening that way. Can we say that way even though we're not on radio, kind of?
If you're staring at your monitor?
Why not? The players were selected for this game through the elections of the Upper Peninsula Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association in their meeting in late October at the end of the regular season. Of course, not everyone was able to clear this date on the calendar. Obviously, a tricky thing to do sometimes. And we'll mention some of the top players from the year as we go along. Let's go down to the field where Mike Bedard has the East coach, Jeff Olson. Mike?
We're here with Jeff Olson, head coach of the East. Jeff, here we are. It's game time now. What are you feeling?
Excitement, total excitement. I mean, it's just been great being around these kids all day. I'll tell you what, they've came down together as a team in the last 5 days, and everything's been team today, and it's going to be interesting to see how they react. Let's step off the field before we get run over.
Nice decision, Mike. For a former hockey player, Mike knows how to get out of the way. J.P. Terrio of Sault Ste. Marie will be kicking it off for the East. And as I look to the other end, I'm trying to figure out who's down there receiving. Dustin Harris is number 10, but it's a little bloop kick and very nicely recovered by number 42, Tim Wheeler of Forest Park, right around the 29-yard line. Thank you, and we're underway.
Just thinking here, too, Jeff Olson from Ishpeming, he's got to be like a kid on Christmas morning with all these numbers that he's got here for players on his sideline. As with many districts in the Upper Peninsula, Ishpeming has been competitive throughout the years, but Jeff Olson's had to get it done with very, very limited numbers.
20, 22, and those are good years.
So he's now got a full contingent here, and it'll be interesting to see how deep into his bench he goes early.
Okay, Emmett Bajorna Calumet is the West quarterback. He turns and hands off to, that looks like Ethan Shaver. I'm guessing by helmet right now because I can't quite see the number. And I'll see if I'm right or not. Hey, I am a winner.
You're going to see a lot of basic offense here, Mike. You're going to see a lot of quick trap plays. You're going to see a lot of misdirection in the backfield, but you're not going to see a whole lot of razzle-dazzle. I mean, every one of these players has been in camp, if you will, for just about a week now.
That's right. It's not going to be too cute.
And in a lot of all-star games, you see a lot of offense, not so much in football with it being such a team sport. You've really got to find a way to work together.
Handoff this time to the fullback. And that's going to get it over the 35-yard line. I saw a blue helmet, and I'm still looking for a number. Is that a 24? It looks like a 24, Mike.
No, John Troyer was the tackle there, the big kid out of Engadine coming in from his defensive line position.
Looked like Josh Drosy at Kingsford with the football that time. So that brings us to third down, 3 yards to go. We're just underway in the UP All-Star football game here at the Superior Dome. Receivers split one each way. Bajorn takes the snap, gives it to the fullback, and that's not going to get very much. Pick out your favorite helmet down in the field. 62 is one. That would be John Troyer again of Engadine.
And Josh McDonald, the linebacker from Negaunee, getting in there as well and throwing some bodies around, and it's going to bring up fourth down, and we'll see our first special team opportunity here tonight.
Calix Scholander of Forest Park, the punter, one of the returnmen for the East. I see is number 4. That's TJ Black from Westwood. And number 5, thank you for the single digits. That's Joe Molesky of Gladstone.
And Molesky's the one you want to keep it away from.
I don't know if you have a good choice here. Very nice punt by Scholander. Fair catch call for by Black. I have a feeling the West is on it. On the 24-yard line. Let's see if we can figure out who's at the bottom of the pile. I thought I saw a 4 and a
But right there, Mike, you get a chance to see what a big, high kick can do, because what happened is the ball got up. It was a nice, tight, spiraling, deep kick, and the receiver had to wait for it,
And he's only played in here maybe once in high school. If he's lucky,
you hear that thundering herd coming at you, too.
And he took his eye off it for just a half a second.
First break of the ball game.
I think that was Kyle Zweifel of Norway who fell on it for the West, so they will have the first down on the 24-yard line. Again, I formation. Receivers are split. Bjorn looking to throw. He's going up top. He's got a receiver. Right. Nice play in the end zone to break it up.
That's Farley from Westwood.
Yep, Farley from Westwood. I'm just trying to figure out who the receiver was. Looked like number 10.
That's Dustin Harris from
It was. So we'll try again on second down, as we try to keep up with some of the accolades that these nice players received during the year. We'll touch on them as we go along. Emmett Bjorn was definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the UP. He was the Class ABC first-team quarterback. No, he was not. Cody Kangas was a man of Steak. All right. Emmett was close in that voting. Pitch to Ethan Shaver of Menowney. He's got the corner turn. He's still at 20 to 15. Loses the football, but conveniently knocks it out of bounds. So that will be a first down for the West. What appears to be the 12-yard line? Yes, the 12-yard line.
And you know it's difficult for Shaver here, too, actually having to take a pitch from the quarterback.
He doesn't know what that is in the single-wing offense.
Menowney running that single wing for so many years. But, yeah, you know, it's interesting, too, because so many of these guys do have to adapt their game a little bit. You go from some teams running a pure wishbone to a single wing to a pro set, and you've got a week to do it.
Trying to look at the receiver at the bottom of the screen. That is number 35. He's wearing a blue helmet. I haven't figured out who he is yet. Oh, Eisensoff of Menominee playing receiver. No, it isn't. It's 36. Adam Bortz of Stevenson, wide receiver down at the bottom of the field. Handoff for just a couple yards. Does get inside the 10-yard line. Bringing up second and, about 8. 7.5.
You'll see the East All-Stars really stacking the interior on this, too. The West going right back to that inside hitter with the fullback. They've gone outside a couple of times. The one pass play down into the end zone. But, again, you'll see both these teams on offense, Mike, keeping it very, very basic, especially here early. You might see some sort of trickery a little bit later on, but basic football here to start.
Oh, you think Ethan Shaver might throw a pass somewhere? Uh-oh, Bjorn's got the corner turn, and he is not... nice tackle down on the 5-yard line.
Getting there again. Ryan Farley from Westwood had a great year for Jim Marana last year with the Patriots, and he was able to track down the quarterback.
Corey Gagne of Manistee also in the area on that play.
So it brings up third down about 3.
As I try to refresh my memory from our UPSSA honors from this past season, Brent Parrott of Stevenson was the Dream Team quarterback. Cody Kangas of Manistee was the Class ABC first-team quarterback, so Emmett Bjorn was behind those two in the voting in that category. 3rd and 3, just inside the 5-yard line. Emmett Bjorn calling signals. He's going to go to the wide side of the field, and Shaver's got the corner turned, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. And Maroney Marone, who's going to Michigan Tech, has scored the first touchdown in the UP All-Star football game in more than 55 years.
5-yard scamper, and again, just got the corner. Combination of good speed and very good blocking over on that right side of the offensive line. They got low on their men and were able to spring him outside. And now for a kid I've been waiting to see, honestly, this young man here for the West All-Stars is Nick Koskaniemi from Calumet. He won the place-kicking contest with a 51-yarder earlier this week.
And he's got a familiar holder in Bjorn, and it's up and it's good. And we're underway. The West has taken advantage of a turnover and is on the board with a 7-0 lead. We'll be back to the UP All-Star football game right here on TV6 in just a moment. Oh, no breaks. I like how I get warned like that. But that's live television. This happens sometimes, so. Okay, we'll keep it here for a while then. Let's see, we mentioned the referees, so we're good there. Marquette County crew. Do we have Jackie Chandonnet available? They say we do. Let's toss it down to Jackie Chandonnet if we can. Go right ahead, Jackie.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. It's nice to be here at this exciting game today down at the Superior Dome after more than 55 years. What a neat event to see. I'll be reporting in the stands today, talking to all of the fans, the parents and relatives of all these young athletes that have really been the support team for them through their years through high school. So we'll hear from all those folks in the stands as we proceed through the game. Mike?
Thank you, Jackie. As the East assembles its kick return team, I see Gladstone's Joe Molesky is hanging out around the 5-yard line. And they'll be lining up the kick in just a second here with Nick Koskanemi. And I understand Mike Bedard is ready to have something down on the field. Mike?
That's right, guys. We got Ethan Shaver right here of Menominee. Just scored the first touchdown in UP All-Star game since 1951. How do you feel right now, Ethan?
Feels pretty good, but it all goes to our line and our fullback and all them blocking for that run, because it was a beautiful block on our fullback, Josie, and our line just contained him. That's what we have to do the rest of the game. But I'm glad I got this good touchdown.
Kind of run us through that last play for everybody.
Well, it was a toss play because we know our backfield has a lot of speed, and Josie's a hell of a blocker. And all we did was toss to the right, and we just had a block, and I just had to run outside and use my speed to get outside and score a touchdown after that.
Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate it. Ethan Shaver of Menominee scores the first touchdown in UP High School All-Star football in over 50 years. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mike. The kickoff returned by Joe Molesky to the 28-yard line. Number 42 made the tackle for the West, and that would be Tim Wheeler.
Yeah, again,
Tim keeps playing on special teams. He keeps getting his name mentioned. Nice to how it works out. The state champion Forest Park Trojans in Division A, along with Menominee, the state champions in Division 5 last November. East now with the ball. It should be Cody Kangas at quarterback of Manistee. He's looking to throw. And he doesn't get the chance to because Kyle Zweifel says, mid-pen foul, down you go. After, looks like about a yard.
Cody Kangas, a very interesting animal. And, anybody that can start 4 years at quarterback at the varsity level. This is a kid that jumped in for his dad down in Manistee, Todd Kangas, and played 4 straight years at quarterback. Was able to do so successfully without getting hurt, Mike, which is something to say.
This is true. Manistee had a very good team last fall. And 2nd and 9. Fake to the fullback, pitch to Chad Delangelo. Gets the recovery on the bounce, but he's going to get about 6 yards on the loss. And by golly, that's Mr. Zweifel in the neighborhood again.
Well, again, you take a look at the difference in the way that these teams play. Manistee, not traditionally a team that's going to toss the ball like that, whereas Delangelo from Negaunee is that kind of a running back. So you don't have the quarterback in that situation accustomed to that sort of play call, and he threw it actually on the outside hip of Delangelo, and he was actually very fortunate to get on that football.
We'll try and mention where the linemen are playing as the game goes along. I know right now that Lakeland and Hubbell's Michael Goldsworthy is playing nose tackle, and that's a scary concept to me right there, but he's almost in on the quarterback already on 3rd down. Pass is caught by Sault Ste. Marie's Nick Cushman. I believe that was 85, yes it is, and he stays in bounds, but it will be 4th down and about 4 yards to go. And I see Brandon Goings going through a kicking motion, so I would say the Munising grad is about ready to punt the football. And deep for the West looks like 28, and I believe that is West Iron County's Jamie Matson, and he is being joined by Houghton's Dustin Harris. So the East with its first punt of the game. I can tell that the snapper is from Westwood. I can read the W from here, even if it's sideways. At least it looks that way. And the punt is caught out of bounds by Levi Jezik of Negaunee.
And Goings isn't going to be happy with that one either. He was bombing them in pregame warm-ups, and that
happens.
Well, there's a big difference between warming up and actually playing the game.
The nerves are kicking in a little bit now.
And of course the West already taking advantage of a turnover on a punt of their own, and that's how they jumped out to that 7-0 lead on the touchdown run by Ethan Shaver.
So the West will have the ball on the 47.5-yard line. And it's time to go shotgun. Hey, now we're having some fun. Right up the gut is Brent Parrott of Stevenson, and Brent is not what you call small.
Neither is Joe Jenkins, however, from Pickford, and he's the one that stood him up and finally able to bring him down after a gain of almost 9 yards. And again, you're going to see a little bit of different style offense depending on who's back there running the show.
Now, during the UP All-Star or UP Sports Writers and Sportscasters meeting, Parrott listed at 6'3", 210 pounds, so he's definitely not a small quarterback by any means. He will be going to NMU in the fall.
If he's 6'3", I'm 19 years old.
Don't tempt me, Mark. Don't tempt me. It's early in the game. Parrott should have enough for the first down. He did get over the 42-yard line, so that will put the West with another set of downs. Try and mention some of these players who are in the game right now, just so I can get a chance to match up a uniform with a name and a number. Checking into the game for the West is number 7, Marcus Dunbar. He's from Wakefield Marinisco in the Western UP. Ethan Shaver and Menominee coming back into the game. He's the one that's bringing in the play. Let's see who we have over on the other side. Number 13 on the east playing center field is Kevin Nancarrow of Marquette. He's kind of in the safety position right now. Again, out of the shotgun. Parrott rolling right. Nice block. Oh, and if he can run past, I tell you what, he's hard to bring down, and Kevin Nancarrow just found out.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious here, too, that the West's offensive scheme here in this series is pretty simple.
Parrott right, Parrott left.
Parrott left.
He will throw, don't worry. He's a very good quarterback. They're just setting him up. Okay, let's see. Who's playing center right now? If I can read that number. Naturally, it looks like a Ford. I'm in trouble if I have somebody starting with a number 4 playing center. Parrott, up the middle. Got Troyer again from Engadine, I think it is. Bringing him down after just a couple yards. John Troyer, one of at least 8 players that I know of who will be continuing their football careers at St. Norbert College down in De Pere, Wisconsin. It's kind of turning into UP South. Terry Sand, Munising state champion coach from, oh my goodness, more than 25 years ago now, one of the assistants down there with the Green Knights. We have third down and about 7 yards to go. Again, we're in the shotgun.
I'll give the East defense some credit here. They've kind of sniffed out this offense.
Parrott looking to go towards Shaver, and did not have a chance to get there at all. And good coverage downfield. I don't know if that was Molesky
or Nancarrow from Marquette. As a local kid here, that's a guy that's used to playing in here a little bit. And, I know these kids have been in camp, if you will, for a week or so. But, if you've played a game here on this artificial turf, you know what to expect. You know what's going to be happening underneath you. And players like Nancarrow, I know the Negauni's played in here over the last couple of years. Westwood with a game or 2. Munising even. So there are some kids out there that have the, I guess, somewhat of an advantage of playing on this turf before.
West punter gets the afternoon off. 4th and 7, they're thinking about going for it. And he says, wait a second. We had not planned on this. Nancarrow, who we've been talking about, will be playing his college football at Michigan Tech. So the East takes time out here to try and figure out if the Rust was kidding or really thinking about going for it.
Well, Marcus Dunbar from Wakefield Marinesco is coming out of the field late, and it seemed more than anything else there's just a little bit of miscommunication on the West sideline on this 4th down and 8-yard play. And you can expect that a little bit. Quite honestly, one thing that these all-star games are notorious for is missed assignments. A kid not coming in at the right time.
That's this level, the college level, and the NFL.
Absolutely. But the one nice thing that we've not seen, I realize, we're 3:40 to go here, and it's only the first quarter, but there hasn't been a flag on the field yet.
That's a good thing. Boy, that is a very good thing, and it shows the discipline of what these kids have learned in a week already. As Kevin Jacobson in charge of the East defense.
And you see Big Brother Paul right there from the headman over at Negauni shouting out some instructions to these guys, too.
I understand we can go down the field and talk to Jackie Chandonnet. Jackie?
Thank you very much, Mike. We're in the stands and we're talking to some of the family members of the kids that are out on the field today. And I have with me right now Jeff and Nanette Showquist from Kingsford. So thanks so much for being here. Tell me about your son Dan and what it's like for you guys to be here today and watching him out on the field.
It's fun. He's having a ball. He's meeting a lot of kids he's played against in football and baseball. for a lot of years, so it's fun.
Very exciting, I'm sure.
Yeah, anytime you can see a UP football game, it's a good day.
That's for sure. Now tell me what it's like to, he's out on the field working hard and practice and games and all that kind of thing, but to be a parent, how many miles do you think you've tracked back and forth through his career so far?
No idea. Thousands and thousands.
Yeah, lots of trips to some state this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, tell us just quickly what his plans are now.
He's going to go to St. Norbert's College. He's going to major in biology. He's on the football team there right now and hoping to find a place to play, so.
Fantastic. Well, you must be very proud. Thanks so much for being here, and good luck to Dan. Thanks. We'll go back to you, Mike.
Naturally, Menominee had to throw a pass from Ethan Shaver, and it went to Brent Parent for a first down. Gained more, about, 25 yards mark on that?
On 4th down and 8, and didn't I say watch for a little razzle-dazzle sooner or later?
You knew the single-wing offense had to make an appearance sooner or later. Handoff up the middle to number 27, and that is Kyle LeVeca for his Park, the Class D Offensive Player of the Year from the past season.
I was about to say, you should know his running style from all those highlights on Friday.
Yes, you can't find him. Even when you can find him, you can't find him. But that's what makes him successful. And he is down to the 7-yard line. And that will set up 2nd down and about 5.
And it is crucial right here that the East get a stop. 7-0 already. You can't be down 14-0. Try and hold them to a field goal try.
Marcus Dunbar, a little trouble with the handoff. Then he has a little more trouble with Kevin Nancarroll. He's certainly not the first person that has seen that in his high school career, having trouble with Kevin. Kevin makes a nice tackle. Marcus does get it down to just short of the 5-yard line.
If you want to hear a coach gush about a kid, talk to John Tiziani, the former coach at Marquette now, about Kevin Nancarrow and just how hard he's willing to work, how hard he's willing to hit.
Yes.
There's a reason all these kids are in this game.
Because
Kevin
they work
Nancarrow,
hard.
Kind of an exclamation point to that statement.
Without question. 3rd down, 3. Brent Parrott to Stevenson, the quarterback. Turns, fakes. Can he turn the corner? No, sir. TJ Black.
Yep.
Nope, 16. That's Garrett Nowak, excuse me. Hey, I got the right helmet color. I'm doing well there. Now if I get jersey.
Read. That's a great read by Nowak, knowing that was going to be the play. Spin to the outside. And Parrott is not the fastest guy in the world, like you said, Mike, but if he gets an inch on you, he will take off running. And a great read defensively. And like we said, for the East, this is a big play here.
It's a huge stop. Nick Koskanimi in for the West from Calumet. Holder from Calumet, Emmett Bajorn, 25-yard field goal is up, and it is good. And the West expands its lead with 1:12 left in the first quarter. It is 10-0 White Shirts over the Black. And now the East has to figure out how to get a drive going.
Really quick, back to that kick here, too. It's nobody's fault. It does happen from time to time. Koskanini actually put that through with the laces out. Holder gave him the laces.
Can you tell if there was somebody who was a kicker in the high school level down in the Milwaukee area? That would be Mr. Evans.
Madison area.
Madison. Well, okay. Well, hey, it's that nice state below us.
And Koskanini's a lot better than I would have ever dreamed of being back then. But the Holder, he got the laces, but they were pop it through.
The familiarity of Holder helped a little bit there. At least he knew the ball was going to get down, so he had confidence in that. And it's a 10-0 game for the West.
Okay, Coach Ludlam, here we've seen it all. We've seen a turnover, a good offensive drive, special teams play with the field goal.
And one single-wing offensive play.
And one single-wing offensive play, just kind of like we were hoping for.
Ken Hofer's now smiling at his Menominee residence. No, knowing Ken, he might even find a way to have made it up here.
No, I guarantee you, I was talking about John Tiziani, who's actually retired from coaching. He's in the house here somewhere. These guys live, eat, breathe football, and if they can come watch their kids one last time, they will.
And while we're on that note, I want to congratulate Menominee coach Ken Hofer of being named the Prep Person of the Year by the Detroit Free Press last week, an honor I don't think has ever gone to an Upper Peninsula person. And to have him recognized for what he has done, not just for the past 2 years, but for 30 years, is excellent. Koskanini puts his foot into the ball, a ground ball to short, and Chad DeLangelo is going to get the friendly hop on about the 18. He's got a little bit of running room toward the sidelines. He gets the 35 and down to the 38-yard line. And is that Tim Wheeler making the tackle again?
You know it, baby. Wheeler on special teams, on offense, on defense. Delangelo, that's where he's dangerous, too. Chad gets that outside corner. He did that for Paul Jacobson at Negaunee many times, and actually did some duty as a kick returner and a punt returner for the Miners as well. And I wasn't going to say anything. He was heading up to the sideline. I wanted to see exactly what happened, but Chad Delangelo for the last couple of years has really been something to watch.
Cody Kangas of Manistee, the East quarterback once again for this series, running the option to the right and running into trouble. No fault of his own there. 69. Oh, is that our Lawrence bench press duty? Yes, it is. Matt Cowling with the tackle there, future Michigan Tech player.
And Pat Hampston there from Bessemer, the speed boy, showing just that. Got to that left side and really clogged the hole. Kangas with nowhere to go and really just ran out of real estate here at the 38-yard line.
Now it looks like we're going to change quarterbacks for the next play. It looks like Brian Vieser of North Central, number 3, will come in as the signal caller for this play. Pete Flormelo of Sault Ste. Marie is the fullback. Brandon Goings and Munising down in front of us at wide receiver. Vieser rolling to his left, lofts it out there. And I think that's Flormelo that made the catch. And he survived one hit. The second hit was pretty good. And that will be a gain of a better part of 7 or 8 yards.
Velcro on the fingertips, too. He just barely got that off the turf here. It's going to be 3rd and 3 as the first quarter, my friend, comes to an end.
To a close. Let's take time out. 1 quarter in the books. We're still here. We're doing something right. It's 10-0 West. We'll be right back. You're watching the UP All-Star Football Game right here on TV6. Welcome back to the Superior Dome as the West has a 10-0 lead over the East as we begin the second quarter. And coming out for the East, Brian Vieser again of North Central will be the quarterback. We are trying to catch up with one of the coaches on the West side. We will do it after this play. So we have 3rd down and 3 on the East 45-yard line. Brian Vieser, North Central, the quarterback. And he's going to turn, fake the handoff, roll to his left, and he sees 3 white shirts, and that's not a good sign.
And that's Jake Dobson there from West Iron County, came around that left side, and he had nothing but quarterback in front of him.
And along with Sam Peterson of Calumet, and that Mr. Zweifel guy of Norway was in the neighborhood again. Let's go down to Mike Bedard. I think he has one of the West coaches to talk to. Michael.
That's right, guys. We're here with Bill Santilli, head coach of the West. And, Coach, you're up 10-0 in the first quarter. What's your thoughts?
Anytime you can start off the game with a 10-0 lead, things are working your way. These kids right now showed up with a lot of emotion. A couple of breaks went our way. That little fumble right there on that punt, no better way to start.
It seems like you're utilizing Ethan Schaefer in all sorts of situations. It kind of reminds me of Cordell/Stewart back for the Steelers in the 90s.
Well, our staff got together and we knew the talent level of some of our players. Schaefer's one of the best in the UP, if not the state. When you got a playmaker like that, we're going to use him to his full ability.
That's great, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. We do have our first flag on the field. It will be illegal procedure depending on if they wish to take the penalty.
I was about to say it's decent field position, not great, down at the 24-yard line. Goings got off a much better kick that time. The Munising Mustang, they're going to decline it, and they'll take over down here to just inside their own 25.
As I mentioned earlier, in the history of this game, the North won the first couple of games, so I can soon find where that page went in the program. Do you remember what page that was, Mark?
It's the one you turned from a little while ago.
Yeah, naturally. Something like that. Now I'll find that later as we go along here. Let's see who the quarterback is. Emmett Bajorn again will be the quarterback for the West. You will have Josh Strozzi of Kingsford behind him and Ethan Shaver of Benami as the running back. I see Dustin Harris, a wide receiver, at the bottom of the screen. And the handoff went to the fullback, Strozzi. Picked up about 1.5 yards.
Nick Monty from St. Ignace coming up on the, actually one of a host of black jerseys on the stop there for the East defense, who's tightened it up a little bit here, Mike. You know, they did give up the field goal. They had a short field behind him on the touchdown, but the East defense has been playing well and able to sniff things out here on the West offense so far.
So that brings us with 2nd and 8.5. I'll be picky. Bjorn back, the pass flag is down, out to Harris, and he gets around the defender and gets a first down out around the 43-yard line before the tackle is eventually made by number 10, Richard Gibson of Pickford.
Yeah, but this is coming back.
I think you're right, because as soon as that flag went up in the air, I had a feeling that the East had a free play. And that would usually mean some kind of motion penalty.
I don't think they had enough men at the line of scrimmage. Because as soon as the ball was snapped,
is
when the flag came in.
So we'll let the striped shirts sort that out.
I remember thinking the West didn't have enough men at the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
It's an illegal procedure call, which can be
half a dozen.
Yeah, it can be. That's several different things. But again, we talked about the East defense a little bit. They catch a break right there, and now it's second on and long.
They're going to catch on as this goes along. I see Pat Beyer of Ishpeming as the defensive end on the bottom of near the bottom of the screen as Bjorn goes back to throw again. A little pump fake. Emmett doesn't like what he sees, so he takes off. Gives a little stiff arm. And that didn't buy him as much room as he thought there.
Well, Nowak from North Central came up and made the stop, and this is going to be for very little, if any, gain. And we talked about the East defense buckling down a little bit, tightening the screws, and now you've got your opponent to a third down and long, and third down and just shy of 15.
I was told before the game that there is a reason that Nowak is wearing number 16, which is kind of an odd number for someone who actually does the shot put and discus for your school to wear number 16. But one of his favorite players is the Texas tight end who was playing with Vince Young a couple years ago. Now that name escapes me, but that's why he wears number 16 today. But Jordan back to pass, looking, Shavers wide open. And that can be a problem. And that is a first down. Near the 45-yard line, and a nice tackle by number 6, Ryan Farley of Westwood.
Well, that opened up because two of the East defenders, Mike, ran right into each other, right at the point of contact, and right as the ball left the quarterback's hand, the two defenders ran into one another. Shaver's good at getting open, but he certainly got some help there, wide open.
Yes, he did.
And a huge break for them, and now the East in business inside the 50-yard line.
Over the ball is the West center, Nick Miskovich of Ewan Trout Creek. Hey, make it simple. Call your own number. It's good for about 5 yards.
And that's good to do. Jordan's one of these guys here that's not really known for that, more of a drop-back type of kid. But again, if there's an opening there and your center is able to get good push off the ball and your quarterback's able to follow him for a little bit, it keeps everybody honest, and it's a good gain there for the West All-Stars.
Now we'll bring up 2nd and 6. We're down to 8:45 to go in the second quarter. The West has a 10-0 lead. And let's see, we have receivers top and bottom of the screen again. Adam Borths of Stevenson at the bottom of the screen. And Bjorn hands off to Drozy of Kingsford, and he's going to get a couple yards. Nice tackle. Is that Nowak again? Yes, it is. Garrett Nowak of North Central making the tackle. Let's go down to Jackie Chandonnet on the sideline. Hi, Jackie.
Hello there, Mike. Thanks very much. We're in the stands, and we're talking to family members and fans of these young athletes as they are out on the field working hard today. I'm joined now by Tom Nancaro of Marquette. Tom, thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And your son, Kevin, is on the field today playing for the East team. He is number 13. What is it like for you to be here and watch your son out on the field?
Well, this is great. I mean, words can't explain it. These young men are really good at shooting well. It's a great experience for them. It's something I remember for always as parents. Also, it's just a fantastic experience. I know I could speak for all the parents here today that we're so proud of our sons, not only during this game, but also over the course of the last 4 years of high school playing football. And we really appreciate their hard work, and it's been awesome. Great experience.
Well, I do understand that Kevin is actually playing out there today with a little bit of an injury. Can you tell us what happened?
He's got 19 stitches in his forearm. He was given the option to either play in the game and have to go after the game to get restitched, or not play in the game. He chose to play in the game. So I'm battling for that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. We all are. Thanks very much for being here with us, and good luck to your son.
No, thank you.
Okay, back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Jackie. 2 plays in the meantime. Levi Jezik of Negaunee made a nice tackle on Ethan Shaver on 3rd down, but on 4th down, Bjorn hit Josh Drozy with a short pass, and that led to a first down on the East 32-yard line. We're under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, 10-0 East. Receivers split. Dustin Harris of Houghton at the top of the screen, and Bjorn, going back to throw. Steps around the rush. Throws it out there. Nice catch by number 34, and that is Eric Peterson of Forest Park. And that gets a couple yards down inside the 30-yard line. Eric's certainly one of the better, not only football players in the Division 8 state championship game for the Trojans, but during the basketball season as well, as he also had an outstanding year for Forest Park. As we move to 6:15 to go in the second quarter. Again, receivers are split. Drozy the fullback, Shaver the halfback, and Bjorn throws it out top of the screen, and that one is not going to be completed. Adam Borths of Stevenson, I believe, the receiver, trying to get a hold of that one, could not quite pull it in.
And that's tough play right there. Even if you played with someone for 4 or 5 years on offense, it's a timing route on the outside. Difficult to pull off in an all-star game, but again, it's nice because we're seeing a little bit of everything. I thought we'd start off basic, and we did, and now the coaching staff on the West starting to open things up a little bit. They know the abilities of these kids, and I think right now you're seeing Coach Santilli kind of maybe playing around a little bit with what his offense is capable of doing.
3rd and 7, Bjorn on the roll. He finds Borths, who makes a move to get a couple more yards and gets down near the 10-yard line. Call it the 11. That's the first down for the Western All-Stars. Nice play, good time. Again, that was a good timing play as Borths was ready to make the catch and made a nice move to get a couple more yards to get down to the 11-yard line.
We've seen this a couple of times here now. The East defense backed up a little bit. Happened the first time, like we said, on a turnover. And a decent drive by the West that ended in a field goal. We'll see how tight the East defense can get this. Not a whole lot of guys in the box here with the offense spread out.
Bjorn looking to throw, looking toward the top of the screen. He's got a receiver, and no, not quite. Both officials say no, Dustin Harris. You did not catch that pass. Good campaign, though. But the ball did drop.
Dustin Lovell there from Rapid River on the coverage.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the East 11-yard line. As I try and catch up mixing and matching athletes with numbers, and I want to mention the linemen when I can. I notice that right guard is 75, Don Jones of Menominee. 79, Tom Simonson of Lance is the right tackle. And is that a 5'3"? Paul Santi of Kingsford is the left guard. I think that's either 54. Might be Mike Griffin of Lance is the left tackle at the moment. As Shaver tries to get back to the line of scrimmage and had a hard time doing that. Nice play by the East.
Don Jones joining him from Menominee. Offensive lineman wearing number 75. He's down there in the pile as well.
Let's see, try and look at some of these East numbers, which are a little difficult to read, but I'm catching on a bit. 55, Pat Beyer of Ishpeming is the defensive end on, well, I'll say is my side of the field, our side of the field, closest to the TV screen. Yeah, something like that. Three-dimensional stuff is
the other left, Mike. Your other left.
Yeah. Bjorn back to pass. He's got a receiver in the end zone. It's a touchdown. And it looks like number 25. It is Ryan Percheski of Norway, open in the back of the end zone, and the West is on the board again with just over 5 minutes to go in the first half. It is a 16-0 lead for the White Shirts.
He had a great year for Brad Grable down there with the Knights. And again, Norway always a very competitive team in that Mid-Peninsula Conference, as you well know. And a great look. They got in close. That's what you want to do when you get down around the 10-yard line, mix things up a little bit. We saw a couple of runs, saw a couple of plays where things got mixed up a little bit. And you spring the receiver here on the right side and just got it out there enough. Good defensive coverage by the East All-Stars, but just over their outstretched fingers.
Extra point by Koskanini is good. After the snap by number 54, Mike Griffin of Lance. And the West is back on the board again with a 17-0 lead. Let me go back now. I found the page of trivia I was looking for earlier. For those of you who did not have this memorized beforehand, and I certainly didn't either, back in 1946, the North defeated the South 21-7. In 1947, the North defeated the South 25-6. But after that, it's been tough for the North. They've only scored 7 points the last 4 games. 6-0 in 1948 for the South, 7-0 in 1949, 6-0 in 1950. Hey, they played some defense back then. And 1951, the last UP All-Star football game, the South defeated the North 13-7. So that's their history of the UP All-Star football game. Does not mention who was the most valuable player or anything like that. I'm sure they may have picked them, they may not have.
I'm doubtful. That was a whole different era back then when you were playing, Mike.
Yeah, because that was a team thing. You didn't get individual awards back then. You got team things. That's what mattered, was the team record at the end of the year and how much you were able to progress. Now you have playoffs and things like that, and sometimes I think I worry more about how far you get in the playoffs as opposed to whether you win your conference title or not. Both are very nice. I tend to lean toward how far you get in the playoffs. Okay, same receiving crew for the most part for the East. Joe Molesky of Gladstone is your deep man. Chad Delangelo is near the top of the screen. And I'm having a little trouble identifying who the young man is toward the bottom of the screen on the 15-yard line. 25, maybe?
Yeah, that's Delangelo's 25.
Yeah, okay. That eliminates that option.
Dark red numbers on black jerseys. They look great, but for our purposes, that's tough.
A little tough. But Delangelo gets the ball around the 8 or 9 yard line. He finds a little hole. He's over the 30 to the 35 and gets down to the 36, 37 yard line. So the East will take over on downs from here, trying to get the offense going. Let's go down on the field where Mike Bedard has an interview. Michael.
Guys, we're here with Norway running back Ryan Procheski. And Ryan, take us through that touchdown catch.
I lined up on the line right and came off the line like just going for a regular run play and beat the corner on the back corner of the end zone.
Now you scored touchdowns before, I'm sure. How does this one rank in the list of catches and runs for you?
Well, it's definitely up there, being an all-star game and all. I know it just feels good to help put points on the board for the West team.
You guys are up 17-0 now. In a little comfort zone here?
What's that?
You in a little bit of a comfort zone?
No, not yet.
All right, guys, back up to you.
He wanted to say yes, but he knew better than to say no. Cody Kangas looking downfield for a receiver. Was that T.J. Black?
T.J. Black from Westwood, a lot of contact along the sideline, but I think they deemed that an uncatchable ball. It was beyond him by about 5 yards.
I would agree with that, and that makes it second down and 10 yards to go. We are at the 4:56 mark. 4:56 left to go in the first half. 17-0 the West. And down on the bottom of the screen is number 7. That's Mike Poltz at one wide receiver. And he is being covered by David Oshis of Menominee, so those two have seen each other before, and that ball is overthrown by just a touch. Poltz had a chance. He was open for a second, but the ball fluttered a little bit too high and was not able to get a hold of it.
And it doesn't matter what level you're playing at, from the NFL all the way down. The right-handed quarterback rolling to his left, having to throw across his body is a difficult throw. That one floated on Kangas a little bit. And again, Poltz, like you said, was open. You know, he came out from that wing position and was good 12, 15 yards down the field. But that's a tough throw for any quarterback.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think that's Lance Gearhart of North Central, who is the center right now for the East squad. It is third down and 10.
And single coverage on Coyne down here.
Kangas looking in that general direction. Uh-oh, that one's I can see that one coming. That is intercepted by Dan Showquist of Kingsford. He happened to read the route correctly and was right in the path of the intended receiver, and Showquist knew the play just as well as anybody else.
Well, as I said, they had single coverage on him. All of a sudden, Showquist just dropped right back. You know, they had single coverage down here along the sideline. The play started to develop, and Showquist saw it and actually came back. It was almost triple coverage by the time that ball was released. A great read defensively.
And a good defensive scheme.
Very much so. And the West defense really has been a great story here. The team up 17-0, but the East All-Stars offensively, Mike, really just don't have any momentum or any sync right now.
Brett Parrott of Stevenson back in at quarterback, and he is going to take on Josh McDonald and win that battle, but the second guy brings him down. Oh, Mark says give it to McDonald.
That's a draw.
Even it out.
That's a draw.
But Tyler Keel of Rapid River also eventually helped bring Parrott down after about a gain of 7 yards, getting the ball to just about midfield.
And you got to remember, I'm going to be a little partial to my Nagani boys.
Well, sure. So we're down to 4:12 in the first half. Coming out over the ball is, I believe, Cody the King of Stevenson, the center right now. Parrott, that quick handoff, and that gained about 27 inches.
Now, Levesque from Forest Park, he's not had as much room as he's been accustomed to throughout his high school career here with this All-Star game this afternoon.
And the thing about Kyle is, I'm going to look up his stats from the meeting right now. He's not the world's biggest running back, 5'8", 170, but he does a lot. He did a decent amount of running inside. He is a well-built 170. So running inside is not completely foreign to him. What is completely foreign is only gaining a yard or two at the most. Third down, a couple yards. Ooh, not quite. As Parrott goes toward his Stevenson Eagle teammate Adam Borths, but comes up a little bit shy on the coverage for the East, number 11, Max Skransky of Escanaba. So the West, discretion is the better part of valor. We'll drop back in the punt formation.
Well, 4th down and 2 at midfield.
And a big stop for the East.
Yeah. Well, Bill Santilli thinking turn things over to his defense a little bit. And, of course, remember the last time what happened when they dropped back into punt formation. They wound up with the football after the fumble.
And Caleb Scholander puts his foot into the ball. Fair catch is brought in by Joe Molesky of Gladstone. And the East will take over on the 18-yard line. With a first down for the Black Shirts. And as I look to see who's going to be quarterback on this series.
With apologies to Tom Osborne, I'm sure.
Yes. And his orchestra.
Offensive players in black shirts. Your friends in Nebraska be rolling over on you, Michael.
Yeah, I know. Cody Kangas, that quarterback for the East. He's got a receiver, Mike Potes of Marquette, at the top of the screen. And Cody, a little Statue of Liberty action. Bring on Boise State as the handoff goes to the bottom of the screen. I think that's Casey Harris of Ishmael getting the handoff. And what looked like a good play. Well, it is a good play because I had the ball in the wrong yard line. There's where my problem is.
Kind of slow developing, too. That's got to be a lickety-split play if it's really going to work. A lot of people will tell you that you want to have that delay for deception, which is in part true, but the play itself has to develop a little quicker than that. You know, Casey Harris, who set how many records?
Enough.
At Ishpeming, you know, and again, just not a lot of running room right there, but that was a good idea and an interesting play call.
3 yards. The ball was on the 13 originally. They're shooting T-shirts at us. Mark, grab one. The pitch from Brian Vieser, and a little bit of a misconnection there as he tries to get the ball to 20. That would be Harris of Ishpeming, Casey Harris of Ishpeming. That kind of wipes out the gain the East had on the first play, so it will be third down and 10 yards to go from about the 13-yard line, which is what I was trying to say a couple minutes ago. The ball was on the 13.
And again, just no flow offensively for the East right now.
So now Vieser looks like he will be the quarterback on this play. Down to 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Oh, the radio guys almost had that shirt.
I don't think they're firing ones up here that would fit you and I anyway.
Yeah, so. Probably not. Always a good thought, though. If our spotter wants to grab one, he's certainly allowed. And we are going to have a
timeout
by the East. Yeah, things just not gelling right now for the Black Shirts. They need to talk something over here and try and get everybody on the same page. Again, this is an all-star game. It is not that easy to do. It's not like basketball where you only have to get 5 guys on a page at a time. You have to get 11 on a page at the same time. So as you see, Jeff Olson of Ishpeming High School, the coach of the Eastern All-Stars, trying to get everybody to see what's going on. Ooh, I think that T-shirt went into the catwalk. You can get that one after the game, Mark.
Well, it is the Army guys that are down there doing that. You know, what's the difference between the Cub Scouts and the Army? The Army's got heavy artillery. Look at it shooting down here.
So now we're going to have third down and 10
And this is a tricky play call for the East All-Stars right now, because not only do you need to get the 10 yards and get a first down here, you also have to sort of protect what's behind you a little bit here as you're snapping the ball from your own 13-yard line. You don't want to get too cute back here where you wind up getting sacked or you wind up turning the ball over or whatever.
This formation's interesting, though. Mike Potes of Marquette down at the bottom of the screen as a wide receiver. Brian Vizor, North Central, the quarterback. He turns, he spins, throws to Pete Formolo of Sault Ste. Marie, who's looking downfield for Potes. And it's going to be caught by a guy in a white shirt, though, and that's an interception picked off by number 14. That is Ryan Pepin of Iron Mountain. And just what you said, don't get too cute, and they unfortunately just did.
Well, there's two things went wrong for the East on that play. You know, the first thing was the thrower was not able to get set.
No,
because the defense was coming right at him. He wasn't able to get set. He's a right-handed quarterback who initially looked to his left, again, coming across his body, and the receiver wasn't able to shake the defender.
And then Bjorn Calumet, the West quarterback, looking to throw. Screen pass. Oh, falls to the turf. Nice job by the rush of the East.
Mike Hakela right there from Nagani.
He's one of them. Tyler Keeler, Rapid River, also part of that bunch. John Troyer, Vengadine, the third person. I imagine Garrett Nowak, I think, of North Central. I think all four of them were in there looking for a party at the quarterback's house there.
Pat Beyer from Ishpeming?
Oh, well, we'll nominate them all.
And that is someone you do not want in your grill, is Pat Beyer from Ishpeming.
No, not even on a good day. Second down, 10. Bjorn. Shaver. Uh-oh. Here we go again. Oh, but Ethan can't throw it. I mean, he tried to. The East was smart on that one.
Levi Jezik from Nagani, the linebacker, got just enough pressure on the passer there to really disrupt that play. They spread the field. They had two open receivers, Mike. You saw there, one in each corner.
At the top of the screen
and,
for a little bit.
And they had a receiver down here on the right side as well. Both of them wide open. Jezik doesn't get in there. It's 24-0.
Do want to thank the Marquette dance team for being out here and keeping things going on the sidelines. They just had a picture of them down front. 3rd and 10. And Bjorn is back to pass. He's rolling right. He stops. He's thinking about cutting around. He does cut. And he's inside the 25, down near the 20-yard line. That'll be close to a first down. Yeah, I think he's about, a foot, 18 inches short.
Great little juke moves, though. And again, a guy that's really not known as that kind of quarterback, quite honestly. No. You know, for the Copper Kings, he's, drop back guy, let his running backs help him out.
But he does have good running ability. We have a timeout by the West, and I'm going to show how much running ability that Bjorn had, because last fall he had 86 carries for 618 yards and 7 touchdowns. So can run the football, and he threw for more than 800 yards and 5 scores. So very capable of both skills in the backfield, and definitely kept a number of defensive coordinators guessing on more than one occasion.
Well, the timeout on the field. Now the West has a decision to make here, Mike. They're up 17-0 already, and they have Koskanimi at their disposal as well.
Who kicked a very nice field goal already.
Yeah, he's already got the 25-yarder, laces and all.
You kickers remember every time the laces are on your toes, don't you?
And as I mentioned earlier, this is a kid that in the kicking contest earlier this week bombed one from 51 yards out. So Bill Santilli, the head coach from Forest Park, may be thinking that way. It is an all-star game, but I'm all for it. I love to see special teams get involved in the game.
Let him kick. I mean, it's not like he gets to be on the field for every play compared to everybody else.
Saw a shot of the crowd here at the Superior Dome. First UP All-Star football game, 57 years. Kind of wonder what took them so long, Mike.
I don't know. That's an interesting question, because it ended in 1951. I mean, the economy was good. Interesting why the game stopped then.
But a good turnout here. Both East and West very well represented with family and friends. This near side seems to be a little fuller, actually, than the far side.
I'll agree with that. I would say you have, at least 3,000 more, give or take, somewhere in there. Okay, they're going to go for it. Bjorn the quarterback, Drosy the fullback, Shaver the halfback, and call your own number. Give it to number 4. It looks like he made more than a yard to me, and that should be enough for the first down. And Angeli says, yes, it is.
Couple of timeouts to work with here as well with a 17-0 lead. So coaching staff of the West getting the play in quick. They'll set the chain, start the clock. They got plenty of time in the 2 timeouts and about 20 yards to go.
Jorn. Whoops, that's a lateral. So Shaver needs to pick that up, and a very nice play by Levi Jezik on the tackle. And a big loss there of about 9.5 yard loss.
You see a lot of guys actually give up on that play. You know, you called it a lateral right away. It's a live football. It's amazing how, as the game goes along, how those little mental issues can come up every now and again. Both players, Shaver on offense, Jezik on defense, recognizing that that was a live ball. More often than not, you see one guy give up on the play.
But All-Stars don't do that.
Amen.
We are down to 1:11 to go in the second quarter, with the West having a 17-0 lead over the East. Calling it 2nd and 20 on the 28-yard line. What do you think Mr. Jacobson is saying down on the field as the unofficial East defensive coordinator?
Well, if I know Paul Jacobson...
Besides the word snot bubbler.
If I know Paul Jacobson, he's telling them, stay in your assignments, stay in your spot. Because what's happened in a lot of plays here with the West being able to take advantage of players being out of position. We've seen some guys, getting in the play, getting blocked that shouldn't be getting blocked. And Paul Jacobson is a great tactician. I know he's telling these kids down there, stay where you belong, work after it, charge after the football, don't let anybody behind you. And like I said, defensively in a game like this, you stick to the basics and usually you'll be okay.
Okay, Shaver's at the top of the screen now. Nick Miskovich of Ewan-Trail Creek, the center, gets it back to Bjorn, who throws short and out of bounds, and on the catch, number 34 for the West is Eric Peterson of Forest Park. A gain of about, 6 yards maybe there, Mark?
So we're at 3rd down, about 12. You mentioned Ewan-Trail Creek. What a great 2007 the Panthers had. I think I've lived in the now for 12 years. I don't think they won more than 3 games.
It seems that way. And what I also want to thank ETC for is the amount of support. There are advertisements all over the program today showing the support, how much they care for their kids. And for a school that is not known traditionally for its football, to see Ewan-Trail Creek do that is wonderful. And Larry Mackey did some very good things last year, and let's hope he can build on them again for the fall of 2008.
Well, as any successful coach will tell you, winning will spawn winning.
That's
will
right.
Spawn interest in the whole bit. And it's such a great story out of the West Central UP for Ewan-Trail Creek.
For Ewan to do well. Lance had a very good season.
It was great to see.
Okay, back to pass is Bjorn. He's throwing deep. Is that Shaver back there again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it looks like a touchdown from 22 yards. Ethan Shaver, the future Michigan Tech Husky from the 2-time Division V state champion Menominee Maroons. And that's why he was the Class ABC Offensive Player of the Year. Unless my memory's really getting bad, and I can't possibly think it was getting bad. No, it wasn't. There is a reason why he's pretty good.
Joe Maliski from Gladstone, Ryan Farley from Westwood, double coverage. A terrific throw and catch. The defenders were there.
Right. The catch was good, very good. The throw was even better.
Yeah, the defense was there.
Yes.
And it was thrown. The only guy that was going to catch that football was the receiver.
And Mr. Koskianimi is back in for the extra point. And all-star game, there's not a whole lot of rushing here. And it's right down the middle. And 24-0, the West All-Stars have the lead with 1 minute to go exactly in the first half. We talk about now and then, and like an all-star game like this, you want to mention the kids not only who are going on to college and to play football, and I want to do that here a little bit. I don't have everybody written down. I have some. Zach Anderson, I'll start with the East. Zach Anderson of Sault Ste. Marie tweaked his knee, not playing today, but he will be coming to NMU. Pat Beyer of Ishpeming, I believe, is going to Wisconsin Oshkosh. I heard that correctly. I know we've mentioned Casey Harris of Ishpeming going to NMU. Nate Johnson of North Dickinson will be going to one of the smaller Wisconsin schools, either Oshkosh or Whitewater. Cody Kangas of Manistee to NMU. Tyler Keel of Rapid River to St. Norbert College. Also going to St. Norbert, Rapid River teammate from the Rockets, Derek McCarty. Adrian College, Nick Monty of St. Ignace. Very, very good player that we haven't had a chance to say his name very much yet. but he'll be going down to the southeastern corner of Lower Michigan. Mike Potes of Marquette going to Michigan Tech. Damian Smith of North Dickinson will be going to Carroll College in Wisconsin. Two more St. Norbert College players from the East squad. J.P. Terrio, the kicker from Sault Ste. Marie. As we mentioned a number of times already, John Troyer of Engadine going to the Green Knights next season. Mr. Koski-Namie's getting more work than probably he even planned in the first half. He's ready to kick the ball off. Joe Molesky again on Gladstone in the middle of a three-player formation, and this is Joe's turn to catch the ball. Right around in between the 5 and 10-yard line, has a bit of a hole, and gets just over the 30-yard line.
East All-Stars have had, for the most part, Mike, okay field position. You know, they've only been barely back one time. Bad. And now's the time to take advantage of it. You know, with 55 seconds to go until half, you're going to score, odds are against you. But some positive movement here, something going into the locker room, something good, because I don't know if we're going to get numbers or what have you here after halftime, but offensively, it's been a struggle here. And again, these All-Star games, as we've seen in this one, and so often is the case, are built on momentum, and it belongs to the West All-Stars right now.
Cody Kangas, the quick handoff to Pete Formolo of Sault Ste. Marie, and the West had that sniffed out on both ends. Kangas wasn't going to get far if he kept the ball, and three Western players were there to make sure that Formolo didn't go very far at all.
Pete Formolo on the carry. And again, as we've seen many times now for the East, second and long. And they'll drive you nuts.
And it's hard to get momentum that way when you are behind the eight ball like that with second and long. We're down to 25 seconds to go in the first half. Mike Potes, wide receiver, down at the bottom of the screen. Chad Delangelo of Nagani, the tailback, and Cody Kangas.
That's a busted play.
Yes, I think you're right.
Cody Kangas.
And, now who called timeout? Well, the quarterback was sacked, so you have to stop the clock. And the East does call a timeout.
Well, in that situation, you want to get everybody on the same page. You don't want to go into halftime, that being your last play.
Let's mention some of the Western All-Stars that we know of who will be playing football in college. Emmett Bajorn, the quarterback right now for the West, will be playing football at Michigan Tech. Matt Cowling, the lineman from Lance, who won the bench press competition during the skills events, he'll be going to Michigan Tech. Josh Drosy, the fullback from Kingsford, will go to NMU. Matt Eisensoff, the linebacker from Menominee, also will play football at NMU. Brent Parrott, the other quarterback for the West from Stevenson, will be at NMU. Ryan Pepin is looking to play football, I believe, at St. Norbert College down in De Pere. One who I know who is playing at St. Norbert is Trevor Powell of Menominee. Paul Santi of Kingsford will move up to Michigan Tech. Ethan Shaver, as we've mentioned, will be at Michigan Tech. Dan Shoquist, as we heard earlier, from his parents, will be going to St. Norbert College. And two other Green Knights, Cody Woods of Menominee and Kyle Zweifel, who had a very good first quarter of the Norway Knights, going from the Knights to the Knights. Thank you. I'll be here all weekend. No, let's not root for that, please, believe me. We don't need that. Okay. 2 seconds to go in the half.
My guess is you're either taking a knee or keeping it simple. Or not.
Well, he wanted to... Okay, we're going to have some fun. Kangas is going to get down near the 37-yard line before he is forced out of bounds by a couple of white shirts, including Mr. Zweifel again. And that will end the first half. And we are in the books with a 24-0 lead for the West. And let's take a break. You're watching the UP All-Star Football Game right here on TV6. Don't run over on camera. Welcome back to the Superior Dome, where you see the West has a 24-0 lead at the half over the Eastern All-Stars in the first UP All-Star football game since 1951. Down on the field, Mr. Mike Bedard has one of the coaches to get his comments and thoughts on the first half and what we might see in the second half. Mike?
Thanks, Mike. We're here with West head coach Bill Santilli, and coach, not a bad first half for you guys.
I would summarize it that way. Not a bad first half. Our kids made some nice plays out there. Both offensively and defensively, we're playing real sharp, real crisp, and I'm crediting each player on our team.
And what have you been doing out there to keep the East defense off balance? It seems like they have no idea what's coming next.
Well, we've got a pretty good flow coming from our internal D linemen. We've got a solid linebacker core. Our corners have had good covers. Zwaifel, Pepin, Shulquist had a couple of interceptions out there. Turnovers have been a key to the points that we put on the board. When you get the ball more than you give it away, good things happen.
Ethan Shaver's having a monster game out there today.
Well, our goal is to put the ball in the players that have made plays all year for the respective teams. As I said before, Shaver's one of the best.
Second half, what can we expect out of the offense? Slow down mode, maybe?
We're stressing defense right now. We got to give the ball away at halftime by the score, the rules of the game. The team, if they're behind by more than 12, you can elect to receive again. So if the East scores right away, they can elect to have the ball on offense again. So our goal is to have a good first defensive stand, keep that from happening, protect our lead.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back up to you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. That was one of the rules I had not heard about yet, kind of like the hula bowl or something like that. Yes, get the ball back again. Give it to the guys to keep them in the game. I like that thought. Let us take a look at, I know we've mentioned as many players' names as possible during this telecast as we can, but we can't get to all of them. So at this point, we'd like to show the names of those players, and when we come back, we have a couple of very special guests. We'll be back right here on TV6. Back here at the Superior Dome, I'm Mike Ludlam along with Mark Evans, and we were looking at one of the historical pages here listing the rosters from the 1946 through 51 UP All-Star games, and I see F.L. Ferzaka here on the South roster. Of course, that would be Frosty Ferzaka, who was with Green Bay West High School at the time, and the rules were at that point after 1946's game, the other 5 games, the coaches were not from the state of Michigan.
Yeah, the MHSAA, after the first UP All-Star game, did everything they could to stop the UP All-Star football game from being just a UP exclusive event, and they went so far as to tell coaches and officials from the MHSAA, if you participated in that game, you could be suspended for a year, possibly even more. So some fascinating names for Midwest football actually came and coached the UP All-Star game back in the 1940s and early 1950s. Frosty Ferzaka is one of them. Eddie Olds from Milligan, Tennessee is another one. Win Brockmeyer and Russ Leskill were actually coaches as well. They were from Wausau. Both of them played high school football and blocked for a guy named Elroy Hirsch years and years ago. We actually have some gentlemen who played in that game.
And we do, and let's send it down to Jackie Chandonnet. She is with both of them. Hi, Jackie.
Hello, Mike. Thanks very much. We have a real treat for you today because I am joined right now by two gentlemen who actually played in the 1950 All-Star Game. This is Axel Anderson from Escanaba and also Bill Mayo from Lance. And can you just tell us about the difference between, being here today and what it was like to play back in 1950?
Well, we had 23 ball players on the team. Like today, I think they have 40-some on each team. And some of us had to play both ways, and got very tiresome. Yes. And as I recall the game, we blocked the punt in the third quarter, and when they had 6-0. But the North had scored 3 touchdowns, but they were all called back on penalties, and then they fumbled inside the 10-yard line. So we came out with a 6-0 victory, and we're very happy for it.
Oh, I'm sure. Wow. Well, what is it like to be back here for you, Bill?
Oh, it's fascinating. A nice crowd, a beautiful place to play, and some of the boys they're big. I think the biggest one on our team was 185 pounds. Now they're well up in 200, some 6'4". They're big people.
That's for sure. Now, you have a nephew that's playing out on the field today, and his name is Jordan Mackey from Baraga, correct? Can you tell us about him a little bit?
He likes to play football, and he played, I think, 3 or 4 years at Baraga High School, and he did real well.
Okay. And Axel, you have a grandson that's out on the field today, David Oshis from Menominee.
Number 21, defensive back, had 3 interceptions as a junior and 8 interceptions as a senior, and he made Great Northern All-Conference. And he also plays basketball, and he played his last 2 games in football at Ford Field, winning the state championship, and he played his last basketball game at the Breslin Center at Michigan State. So he had quite a career.
I guess so. I'm sure it means a lot for both of them to have you both here after having played in the 1950 game. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the differences between what it was like then and what it's like now? I know one of you mentioned some of the accommodations that you had then.
We all slept in the gym and the cots in one room, ate our meals together, and it was real good.
Yeah. Well, now, what are your hopes? Having this game here now, 55 odd years later, what do you hope to see come from this today?
Well, we hope that it continues because it's of great interest to the fans in the UP. And downstate, they have a lot more tournaments going on and get a lot more recognition. So it gives our UP boys a lot of recognition, which they deserve.
Absolutely. What would you like to say to your nephew out there on the field right now?
Good luck, Jordan.
And you to your grandson?
Good luck, and 24 to zip at halftime looks pretty good.
Well, thanks so much to both of you for being here. I'm sure it's quite exciting to have your family members out there on the field. So thanks so much, and we'll take it back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Jackie. Mark, let's, without any notes, see how well we can do quickly recapping the first half. We had a touchdown pass to Shaver.
Yep.
We had a touchdown pass to Shaver.
Yes, we did.
We had a field goal by Koskanimi.
We certainly did.
Now, what was the other touchdown?
That was a touchdown down here to the kid from
Percheski. Yep. There we go. So we had 3 touchdown passes in the first half. And that's why we have a 24-0 lead for the West. They've been able to move the football, and the East
has not been able to move the football.
Very,
very little momentum coming offensively.
I mean, you want to say something that different than that, but they just have not been able to gel and put it together with the right chemistry to get anything going. There's Zach Anderson, future enemy Wildcat, there in the kind of dark khaki shorts, not able to play today. He tweaked the knee a little bit. He'll be fine, but didn't want to take any chances. He's from Sault Ste. Marie High School, as everybody remembers that, yes, the East will get the ball to start the second half, which actually would have been the case anyway, right? No matter what the coin flip would have been, because of the, let's call it the hula bowl rule, for lack of a better term.
Very quickly, I want to thank those 2 gentlemen from the 1950 All-Star Game. I've been looking at the rosters from the 1946 to 1951, and how quickly we forget. There's a lot of districts and a lot of schools that were represented back in those days, Mike.
that are
long gone. Stambo, for example, Iron River High School, of course, those two combining with one other to eventually form West Iron County. Escanaba St. Joseph, the Catholic school at the time. You know, you take a look at some of the places where the players were from back then, and there's even a couple of. It's interesting. There's a couple of guys on the 1948 roster, like Clyde Strassler, unknown. where he played from. So I think part of the hope is too with the resurgence of this game is to maybe go through these lineups and go through these rosters from years gone by.
Sure.
And if there is a missing in there, maybe there's a family member that, you know, remembers, okay, Clyde Strassler, that was my great uncle and he lived in blank, so he played for so-and-so. You know, there's a couple of examples like that. The history of this game, unfortunately, you know, is kind of an unknown.
Did you see the 1951 roster for the North? Some guy named Nystrom.
Oh, yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him too. Carl Buck Nystrom. There's another Nystrom on there. And I understand that Mike Bedard has been working hard here, and he has Jeff Olson from the east down on the field. Mike, let's throw it to you.
You can go in. Casey at full.
We're here with East head coach Jeff Olson, and coach, what can you do better this half that you didn't do last half?
We got to make plays. I mean, they're a good football team. I mean, you saw they're fast, they're strong. We've had problems. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, but their athletes are making plays. So we got to somehow make plays. I mean, we put the ball on the carpet, I think, 3 times that half. You can't do that. We had them 4th and 5. We had them 3rd and 10. You know, good situations for us, and they're making plays. They're using some great athletes, just getting them out in the open one-on-one, which, you know, we're trying to do too. It's just not working. One-on-one matchups aren't very good for us right now.
What do you do to contain Ethan Shaver? He's been running wild, it seems, all over the field.
Can't let him outside. I mean, the biggest thing is we got to get somebody on him a little bit tighter when he's going out for a pass. When he's got the ball, we got to force him inside to our big hosses.
We're going to see you guys air out a little bit more on offense this half?
We're going to mix it up a little bit both, but yeah, we're going to try to score in bunches if we can.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Back up to you guys.
Well, Mr. Koskinimi back at work again with the ball on the tee, ready to kick off the second half.
And I finally figured out the third kid back. That's Lawler from Rudyard.
Ah, good point.
For the
because
East.
We're not used to seeing the Rudyard helmet.
That's right.
Mr. Lawler, is at the top of the screen. Chad Valangelo of Negaunee at the bottom of the screen. As soon as you see the ball go in the air, and Gladstone's Joe Molesky is standing about the 6-yard line in the middle of the 3 as we get ready to start the second half. And they don't have to wait for us. We're ready to go.
Are you saying you are a television timeout?
Some people probably wish I was more in a timeout. Okay, here comes Ed Angeli to say, yes, we'll start the second half. And a bounce, and and catches it about the 8-yard line does Molesky. Again, right up the gut to the 35-yard line, and gets a few more yards out to the 40-yard line. So another good return for the East All-Stars. They got some blocking up the middle.
Well, Eisenhoff for Menominee actually on the tackle to knock that play down. Again, good field position here for the East All-Stars, but Jeff Olson said it perfectly right there when he was talking to Mike down on the sideline. You've got to make plays. You've got to move the football. We don't have numbers on offense, but the East All-Star, Mike, if they had 50 yards offense in that first half, they're fortunate.
Yes. Cody Kangas Manastique, the handoff to the fullback, who may have gained about an inch or two. I think, yeah, it was Casey Harris of Ishpeming that had the ball.
I think of him and Levesque, you know, the two littler guys out there, smaller guys, but they're not used to not having a running room. You know, Casey Harris ran wild all over the Mid-Penn Conference. Of course, Levesque.
2,700 yards. And
Levesque ran his way all the way to a Division VIII state championship
That's
game.
right.
You know, they're not used to that kind of traffic down there, and you got to give the West defensive line a lot of credit.
So we'll go 2nd and 10. Kangas back to pass, looking, and nice catch by Damian Smith of North Dickinson. And gets it out to just about the 45-yard line, so a gain of 4 7/8 yards, shall we call that?
Acrobatic little catch down there. Now, this is what the East needs right now. Positive yardage. You got 3rd and a very manageable 5 here. get something going. As we saw in the first half, all-star games like this, more often than not, are based and built on momentum, and the West is just feeding on it right now, and the East has got to do something to kind of quash that here to open the third quarter.
Kangas over center. Lance Gearhart of North Central. Back to pass. Has time, has a receiver. Oh, and cannot make the catch.
That's Black.
Is TJ Black of Westwood. And that leaves Jeff Olson with a decision.
A little early, don't you think, on 4th and 5?
Sure.
Little early, especially when you've got a kid, in Goings who is more than capable of, hauling off a 50-yard punt. He struggled a little bit in the first couple here, but he's gotten better as the game has gone on. And I know you and I were both watching warm-ups, and I saw him kick in the mid-pen for a couple of years. This kid's got a very, very hot foot.
Dropping back for the West, Houghton's Dustin Harris, number 10, and I believe that's Jamie Matson of West Iron County. And the ball is going in Mr. Matson's direction. He's signaling for a fair catch and does a very nice job getting the knee down, corralling the football around the 23-yard line. So the West is back at it again. We're a minute 32 into the second half, 10:28 to go in the third quarter. And let's take a look and see who will be starting at quarterback in the second half for, there you go. There's a haircut for you, Mark. Jack Audette, North Dickinson.
I tried that once.
Yeah, you're on radio. Sure you could.
It works.
Brent Parrott of Stevenson, the quarterback for the West to start the second half. He will turn, and the fullback has the football, which means I was looking at the tailback, I was looking at Parrott, now I have to figure out who really had the football.
Yeah, but you can also
24.
Make sure they know about Kevin Nancaro once again from Marquette right there in on the tackle. And when he's been in the game, he's had his nose around the football pretty much every opportunity that's been there for him.
Josh Drosy at Kingsford, the one with the football. Now, I probably should, this is my first football game on television. This is my first football game on television or radio or anything else. I don't always look at the monitor. People are probably wondering, gee, Mike, the monitor's right in front of you. No, well, you're kind of busy, and sometimes you don't look at that. And that time the handoff went to the tailback because now I can see that Drosy doesn't have the football.
See Pat Beyer with the stick there defensively. The young man out of Ishpeming playing one last time for his head coach. And again, for the East, offensively, they needed to move the football. They did a bit, got a little bit of momentum on offense. They get a stop here. Odds are they're going to get the football right back where they were on the field.
Sure. Yeah, that's LeVake. That must be Kyle LeVake in the backfield. And back to pass is Parrott. He's looking deep downfield. Good coverage. And that pass for Percheski, I believe, is incomplete. Coverage downfield as I try to read the numbers.
That's Gagne for Manistee.
That's one, and it's not 6. Maybe it's Ryan Farley. Yeah, that's a Westwood helmet. Let's go down to Jackie Chandonnet. Hi, Jackie.
Hello there, Mike. Thanks very much. I have a family fan club with me right now, cheering on number 24 for the West team, Josh Drosy from Kingsford. I have Jane and Dave Tomasowski, parents, and also his sisters, Jessica and Abby, that have come to cheer him on today. Thanks for being here. Tell us what it's like to be here for this today.
It's been a good experience. It's been fun. Make a weekend out of it. We came up here, so it's been fun.
Sure. What does it mean to be a football mom, Jane?
Oh, it is so much fun. I'll probably cry because I hated seeing this season come to an end because the Flivers had an awesome year and you make good friends with the parents also. So it's been fun.
Sure. Now tell me a little bit about Josh's future. What's he going to do now?
He's going to be playing here in Northern next fall. So.
Okay.
Go Wildcats.
Yeah. All right. And how about you girls? How do you feel about watching your brother today?
Good.
Yeah? And how about you? How many football games do you think you've gone to see for your brother?
I don't know. Lots.
Quite a few?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, what does it mean to you guys to see this kind of a game here today, for the cause and that kind of thing?
I think it's an awesome experience for the boys. I like the camaraderie for Josh, getting to play with the boys that he's played against, and I can see the friendships that have formed so quickly, and it's awesome.
I know we had friends over the hotel last night, and I know they've been having a good time all week, so we've been having fun.
Yeah, Josh came over to our hotel with boys he just met, and they swam, and it was fun.
Great. What would you like to say to Josh right now?
Go Josh!
We're so proud of you, and we love you. Go Josh!
All right. Thanks so much, you guys. And Mike, we'll send it back to you for now.
Thank you, Jackie. 2nd and 7 for the East. Brian Visa throwing downfield just over the head of the intended receiver. And I'm trying to pick out a number of that receiver, and I'm not able to do so yet. From Sault Ste. Marie. I can pick out the helmet pretty well. Probably Nick Cushman downfield is my guess. Not able to corral that in. I think Rudyard's Pete Lawler had a handoff that, or a running play that gained 3 yards on first down. So that catches us up and brings it to about third, 6.5, 7 yards to go for the East on the 39-yard line.
Well, they lost about 10 yards from their last possession to this one with the exchange of the football here. You got third down, like you said, Mike, at about 7. Really desperately needing something just positive on offense right now, down 24-0.
Hand off to Casey Hares, and
positive.
the Ishpeming grad gains 5 yards. That'll get him to the 44. About a yard and a half short of a first down, though, and Jeff Olson doesn't want anything disastrous to happen, so he will send on. Well, I think he's sending on the punt team, but where's Mr. Goings?
I don't see an orange helmet yet.
Mr. Goings isn't on the field, so this could be kind of interesting.
Well, it's 4th and a yard.
Okay, Kangas is back in at quarterback, so I would think it'd be some kind of a running, some kind of a option run pass in terms of Kangas will have the ball and decide at the last minute if he's going to run it or pass it.
I'd be surprised if the ball ever left Corey Kangas' hands.
I would agree with that. Let's see how close we are. And I guessed right, and you guessed right. And there goes Cody Kangas down the sideline. He's inside the 30-yard line, and that gives the East some momentum and a first down on the 29-yard line.
33 yards, and without question, the biggest play from scrimmage here for the East All-Stars. And boy, you had to have that, Mike. Down 24-0, everything going the way of your opponent. You had to have that. They bunched the line of scrimmage. Great play fake by Kangas.
It must have been because everything just semi-stopped.
Cody Kangas, a great play fake, and he sold it too. Not only, but he got to the outside, he had the ball buried in the basket, and everyone was looking where the ball went, and off he went.
But then when they figured out there wasn't a whistle, they figured they better start chasing somebody. And that gives the East some momentum. Damian Smith, the wide receiver from North Dickinson, down in front of us, and we have a whistle. And we have a timeout for the East with 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. East with its deepest possession of the ball game on the west. The ball's placed squarely on the 30-yard line. Again, let's mention the referees who are helping out make this game possible today. The referee is Ed Angeli. The field judge is Mike Angeli. Larry Barton is the umpire. The head linesman is Jeff Marshall, and Rick Wales is the back judge for this contest.
One other thing we really should talk about here, Mike, too, real quick, is about the fact that this game is being served as a fundraiser as well. It's sponsored by XL Sports Training. They're out of Middleton, Wisconsin, or suburban Madison, if you will. This all kind of came about 2 years ago. One of the combines here, he said, you know, maybe we should put together an all-star game of some kind or another here for the Upper Peninsula kids. It seemed like a good idea at the time. They waited. 2007, when it was brought up again, everyone was elated with that. XL kind of took the lead, if you will, on that. This is all being a benefit now for Beacon House and some other entities here in the UP. Great fundraiser, great opportunity to really showcase these guys.
Kangas gets the snap, the handoff. And that was a white helmet. I thought that was Formalo, and it is.
Either you and Casey Ford both got it wrong.
Well, you know how that goes sometimes. It's a white helmet. Right now, a white helmet is either Menominee or Sault Ste. Marie, and I see an S.
Boy, if you're the East, you've got to get something out of this. Your deepest penetration here, you're down to the 30-yard line, and amen, you need points. 2nd and 10.
You've got some talented receivers. I mean, TJ Black down here in front of us. He's got a chance of getting open here. Let's see. You know, he's looking in that direction, and he throws in that direction.
Great cut. Great cut.
Nice catch. Typical Westwood kind of a pass play, a short, secure play. And Kangas makes a nice throw, Black a nice catch. And that gains about 4 yards to make it 3rd and 6.
Well, TJ Black turned to his left, which got the defender off him a little bit, then turned to his right. And good heads-up play by the quarterback to see that and throw to the outside shoulder. And again, this brings up, it's manageable here at 3rd and 6.
A host. It's almost like a hockey line change here for the East as they get ready for this play. I think Kangas and Smith are about the only one. No, I think Kangas might be the only one still in the game from the last play. Mike Potes of Marquette now at the bottom of the screen. Damian Smith at the top. And Kangas looking, thinking about throwing. Does. Oh! An excellent effort. And I'm going to say gold helmet, that's James Peterson. And yes, it's James Peterson of St. Ignace. A nice diving attempt, able to get one hand on the football, but not able to corral it. So it will be 4th down.
And I think Cody Kangas had a chance to do that over again. He may have taken off running, too. He threw it into a tough area.
You know it's 4th down now. Empty backfield in the shotgun. Here we go. Bottom of the screen, TJ Black, one receiver. Top of the screen, Mike Coyne of Gladstone. Oh, it wasn't shotgun. And Coyne slipped coming out of his cut and just wasn't able to get a second hand up to possibly pull that one in.
And if this is played on natural grass, that doesn't happen.
Right.
The carpet literally comes up and grabs your toe, and that's what happened to Coyne right there. He went to make his cut and just wasn't ready for the artificial turf here in the dome, and you could see his foot kind of buckle underneath him, and that miss right there, I put almost all of that on the fact that a lot of these kids have never played on artificial turf before.
Mike Coyne will be attending Grand Valley State. He will be a member of the track team down with the Lakers. He is one of the top pole vaulters this past season.
And he'll be a good one. He will be a good one.
He's just fine. Okay, West with the ball. Emmett Bajornik at the quarterback. Turns and fakes. And oh, there's a nice horse collar by, well, it's a red helmet. It's Nowak. Yes, it is. Garrett Nowak of North Central on the tackle. And that will be a loss of 3 yards by the Jets, Jets.
That's a horse collar right there, buddy. Wow. But George's probably going to wake up tomorrow wondering what happened to my neck.
And how come the ground slipped from under my feet so quickly?
And you talk about stick-to-itiveness. You know, a lot of guys, they'll just get one hand on a guy, and they either refuse to hold on or they can't hold on. And Nowak with a great play.
Top of the screen, quick little toss. White helmet. Would that be Shaver?
Well, you think he's been involved in their offense today?
Yeah, just a little bit. It is Shaver. It makes the catch, gets a couple yards, almost back to the original line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line. And that makes it 3rd down and 11 yards to go as the East makes a few defensive changes, looking toward more of a passing situation, they believe, here. We're down to 4.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The West has a 24-0 lead in the UP All-Star football game. First time it's being held since 1951. Twin receivers at the bottom of the screen. And Bajorn is rolling in that general direction, and he throws, and Shaver's open again, and that's a first down to the 40 to 45 to the midfield before he is knocked out of bounds by Molesky and Joel Delisle of Manistee, and a first down for the West.
Sign of a very good player. And you see Shaver right there. Sign of a very good player is when everyone in the building knows the ball's coming to you, and you're able to get open anyway. Great play there by the West All-Stars, and they got it to the guy that's really carried them offensively here in this ball game. But the sign of a great player is someone that when you know the ball's coming to him anyway, and you can't stop it.
And you're probably thinking, Ethan Shaver is definitely one of the fastest runners in the UP. He didn't win the UP 100 in Division I this year, but he was pretty darn close. He's also very strong, Mark. He can bench press 2 1/4, and I don't mean just once. He knows what he's doing. Marcus Dunbar of Wakefield Marinesco gets the handoff, gets spot out a yard inside the 48. I'll give him a yard and 3/4.
Joe Delisle with a stop there, the big kid out of Manistee. We've talked a lot about Cody Kangas, their quarterback. Joe Delisle played fullback for Todd Kangas for many years down there with the Emeralds, and this kid is a load offensively. We've seen him primarily on defense here in this ballgame. Great football player, and you saw that with the fundamentals there on the tackle.
2nd down, call it 8. Bajorn, Adam Borths of Stevenson makes the catch. Oh, now my first indication would say he was down. But there is an alert West player recovering the football, and that is, well, naturally, who's recovering the football? Tim Wheeler. Forest Park, nose for the football on special teams and a nose for the football on offense, too. And it brings it to the 44-yard line, where we will have third and about 4.5 yards to go.
Well, again, East defensively, here we go again.
Tighten it up.
You've got to be able to tighten it up here and get this football back. You had the great field position a moment or so ago. You turn it over on downs, and you've started to buckle a little bit here thanks to Mr. Shaver. You need to stop right here.
Back in the ball game, and at the top of the screen, Dustin Harris of Houghton at the bottom of the screen. Shotgun formation now for the West as Bjorn takes the snap. He's going to follow Dunbar for just a second. Cut inside, gets the first down inside the 40 to the 37-yard line.
And for the West All-Stars, up 24-0. Mike, watch for a lot of ball possession right now. They want to keep this clock rolling.
As Bjorn works on his shoe, let's go down on the field where Mike Bedard has a special guest and one of the key reasons this game is taking place. Mike?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Todd Goldbeck, owner and founder of Excel Sports Training. And Todd, the idea came up a few years ago while you were running a combine. Why don't you tell us about that for this game?
Yep. Yeah, we've been doing recruiting combines up here now for the last couple of years at the Dome, and a couple of years ago we brought up the idea to some kids and some parents about how ill-represented the UP is at the downstate game, and we didn't really know what kind of can of worms we were opening with that, and of course everybody up here feels that way. There's good football up here, and there's just too many schools in Michigan for them to be represented, so we just threw out the idea of hey, why don't you guys do your own all-star game, and so the interest just built, and then last year we brought it up again and really said, hey, is this really going to be a good idea, or are you just saying that? And of course, then it just took off from there.
What kind of stuff goes into bringing something like this about? I know there's got to be a lot of time put in and a lot of sacrifice of hours from personal life and work, and to pull something like this off.
Yeah, it really has been like about an 8-month process. We started out just real basic with an idea. We got a football game, so we need kids and coaches. And that's where we started. So we talked to all the UP coaches and got input about all the different players, and went from there. Once we got the players and the coaches in set, then we just went about everything else. So get the facility, of course. Northern Michigan University has been great, and what a great facility for football.
So far, how's it gone so far?
It's been awesome. The whole week has really gone flawless. Every day there's been activities for the kids, for the coaches. I really think that the whole week the kids have been excited, and it's to showcase UP football, which is what it's all about.
Thanks a lot, Todd. Appreciate it. Back up to you guys.
Certainly want to thank Todd Goldbeck a lot of credit, because this game would not have happened without him and his organization. Forest Park's Tim Wheeler carried the ball the last 2 times to set up 3rd and 1.5 inches, and yeah, that's Bjorn for 2 yards, 3 maybe, and a first down. Like we didn't know that was going to happen at the rate this game was going.
Yeah, I met Todd a couple of years ago, and a very intelligent guy, knew what needed to happen up here. They've made it happen, but I tell you, Excel's been terrific. Bill Blom, in particular, needs to be pointed out for his hard work in this, and bringing all these entities together is difficult.
Yes,
not impossible, but it's tough. You're dealing with a university, but you're dealing with an athletic department in the middle of summer vacation, pretty much. To bring this event together, the hours that it takes, and the man hours, the manpower that it takes, to pull this off and to see what we're seeing here, Mike, really is a spectacular effort.
Bjorn back to pass, makes the catch down there. I believe that is Adam Borths of Stevenson. And yes, it is, and that is a gain of about 5-6 yards, so it'll be inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, so about second down, a shade over 4 to go, and we are out of time in the 3rd quarter because the clock has hit 0-0, so let's take time out as well. The West still has the lead 24-0. You're watching the UP All-Star Football game right here on TV6.
Thanks very much. I am joined right now by Dave Carl. He is from the National Collegiate Scouting Association. Dave, thanks so much for being here today.
Glad to be here.
Well, thanks. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing here today?
Yeah, Todd Goldbeck from Excel brings me in to do the educational talk for the combines. And I know a lot of I think they had about 40 kids for, freshmen, sophomore, juniors today. They ran them through their paces and timed them, and they lifted and all that. And then they turned them over to me for about an hour to give a discussion about what they need to do, what college coaches are looking for, things they need to work on academically, athletically, and then how to market themselves to colleges.
Sure. So now what does it really take for them to move on and be successful in their athletic careers?
I think the big thing is, from a recruiting standpoint, the coaches, they need to identify these kids. And I think this is a step in the right direction, obviously, having an all-star game. As this continues to grow as time goes on, I think more and more enthusiasm is going to be there. More coaches will come and watch these players.
Sure. What kind of excitement did you see this morning at the Combine?
I tell you, the younger guys were really excited about the game today because they're all, and I talked to them, I'm like, hey, work hard because this should be your goal next year to be able to participate in it.
Yeah. What kind of talent do you see out in the field today?
I tell you what, it's really good. The scoreboard doesn't indicate it, but they're still all playing hard. Both sides of the ball. I mean, I watch these guys all week, and they practiced really hard. They're quality young men. They represent their communities well. I think they're very honored to be here, to be a part of this first one after 30-some years. And the younger guys, I think, are really looking forward to, hey, if we keep working hard, maybe we can be one of those guys in the future.
Absolutely. From your perspective, what is it like for you to see a game like this put on today after 57 years of not having one?
I tell you, it was neat when they took the old-timers out there at halftime. I think it really puts it in perspective. Number one, football is a great game that's been around for a long time. It's changed a little bit, but the bottom line is, you're still hitting and tackling people.
Yeah. What's one thing you'd like to say to help motivate those young kids to keep at it?
I think, just, do the right things, listen to your parents, ask them for advice, look up to these guys. These are the all-stars for a reason. They're all here because of their good grades. That's one thing the college coaches stress and we stress, because that's one thing the younger guys can control. They can't control if they're going to be picked all state, but they can control their grades.
Well, Dave, thanks so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we will send it back to Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. We've had a first down picked up by the West in the meantime. Marcus Dunbar, Wakefield, Marinisco had a running play. Tim Wheeler of Forest Park and Emmett Bajorn, a nice job getting inside to gain 7 yards on this pass play to get down near the 6-yard line. It's about 2nd and 2.5, 3 yards to go. The West knocking on the door again. And this time the handoff is to Wheeler, I believe. And Tim has one gear. It's rumble, which means he probably bounced off a few guys and gained a few more. Close to the first down, around the 3. Will we get to see that Lake Linden Hubble chain gang in action, Mark? I believe we will.
Here we go. Yeah, and that, and again, that you mentioned that, but in all seriousness, that shows how widespread this game, really has gone.
Is.
It's got Lake Linden Hubble's down here, running the chain gang. They also brought the ball boys with them. You mentioned the dance team from Marquette Senior High School involved in this. I was just thinking here, Mike, as this play comes in from the sideline here, this has got to almost be kind of nostalgic for you with all the highlights on Friday Night Fever. These are almost like your kids that you've talked about every Friday night over the last couple of years.
It works. It does work that way. Now, there are some times, obviously, I don't know as many of the players from the Eastern UP. They're not technically not in our viewing area as television laws state that are kind of written in.
But you hear about them, about them.
Not in stone, believe me, but our signal does go out to Newberry on cable. It does not get to the Sioux. It does not get to Rudyard or St. Ignace or Pickford or anything like that. It does get the Manistee on cable. No, the nice people in Engadine cannot see us, but there's a station below the bridge that takes care of
you're
that.
Reading the scores, you're hearing the names, and to get a chance. And like I said earlier, you get a chance to see a kid like a Cody Kangas, which you don't get to see very often here. But boy, you've known about him for 4 years, and that's why this game really is kind of special right now. Crowd has been really good. I think the response to this has been excellent.
I think we've had a very nice crowd. It's a nice day, and you don't know sometimes that the weather plays a factor in, well, do I want to go inside or do I want to take advantage of one of the few nice days we've had so far this year?
I say I'd have to give this an AA+. This has really been a great event. I think the crowd's been
very nice, yes.
And the West loving life right now. They got first and goal at the 4 and a 24-0 lead right now. This would pretty much be the slamming of the door.
I would have to say it probably would be. Just over 10 minutes to go in the contest. Dustin Harris of Houghton down at the bottom of the screen, the receiver. Adam Borths of Stevenson at the top of the screen. Emmett Bajorn of Calumet with the Snap, Pete turns, he hands. Come on, get Wakefield in the end zone. And Marinisco, yes, sir. Marcus Dunbar gets the handoff and the touchdown. So the Cardinals senior puts the West on the board again. And we should probably point out, darn good blocking up front.
Absolutely. We've seen that from the West All-Stars pretty much straight through this football game. Go to the opening touchdown with Shaver when he was able to get sprung around the outside. You know, the block was there from the fullback immediately on the play. The quarterback has had protection in the pocket, a couple of touchdown passes here in the ball game. Up front, the West All-Stars have just been great.
And Mr. Bjorn returns to be the holder. I don't know why he has to keep running off the field. Does he have to get the tee?
Yep.
Why don't they just throw it at him? He's got good hands. Nick Koskanimi puts through the extra point.
And actually, I can tell you from personal experience, it's easier to kick off this carpet than it is off the tee on the carpet.
Probably is. I believe you. 31-0, the West with the lead as we move along in the fourth quarter now. Just trying to think of what other good trivia can we pass along on about these nice kids. We've been digging through the program as best we can.
Well, you see on your screen there another Mohawk. I think the question is which team has more?
I'll vote East at the moment.
I'm thinking the East has the most Mohawks.
Which is interesting because if Mohawk was a member of one of the teams, it would be the West, the small community up near Calumet.
That was done deliberately.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's where the road commission is up there in Keweenaw County.
As we go back to set up the kickoff, the return team will be the same for the East. Joe Molesky at Gladstone standing around the 10-yard line. Chad Delangelo of Negaunee on the top of the screen. And
let's see if you can remember
Pete
here.
Lawler of Rudyard at the bottom of the screen.
Well, Delangelo and
well, they've had good returns.
And Molesky have had their chance here. Let's go to the right sideline this time.
Let's give Lawler the football. He took one handoff earlier. But I suppose you only plan for so many kickoffs to go into so many directions during an all-star game, right?
I don't think you plan really anything for an all-star game.
And Koskanimi puts the ball, and he's going to send it right to Molesky on the 3-yard line, or 2. Take your choice. Up the gut he goes, and uh-oh.
Yeah, they figured it out that time.
The West is getting a little bit smarter, at least when it comes to this.
Kyle Zweifel from Norway, one of the lead guys in there. They finally figured out the plan of attack here for the East special teams, and that's Molesky forward. And, boy, great play from Zweifel there. The former Norway Knight, and this is going to be, quite honestly, Mike, probably the worst field position off a kickoff the East has had since early in the football game.
I agree. Brian Vieser of North Central will be the quarterback for the East as they take the ball about the 18.5-yard line. Let's see if we can identify who's in the game here. Damian Smith of North Dickinson will be the receiver closest to us. Mike Potes of Marquette at the top of the screen. Chad Delangelo, the running back of Negaunee, and hands to Delangelo, and I would say that's Cody Woods. That's a white helmet, or Trevor Powell. I have 2 white helmets to choose from. That was Trevor, and that's a gain of 1.
Yeah, neither team really huge on the running game so far, but Chad Delangelo is another one, the kid from Negaunee, that is accustomed to a little bit more space than he's seeing here. And again, you really have to give the line play, I think, honestly, from both these teams, Mike, has been a lot better than a lot of people thought that we might see.
The West lines have gelled very well. Second down. And Vieser fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. He has a receiver open. Nice throw, nice catch. And that should be good enough for a first down. And that's number 2. That's Michael Coyne of Gladstone making the catch. The future pole vaulter down at Grand Valley getting the first down.
And if memory serves me correctly, that's the first down of the second half for the East All-Star team.
Oh.
It's been a struggle for them moving the football here so far.
We're coming up on 9 minutes to go in the contest. And trying to look, no major changes in player personnel on this play. Pete Lawler, the tailback from Rudyard for the East on this one. And he's going to get the pitch. Nope, that's 33. I'll take that back.
That's a Rapid River helmet.
That's a Rapid River helmet, and that Rapid River helmet got a first down, and that is Derek McCarty. And nice run by Derek. Nice job by the line to get some blocks out there in front, and a very good play for the first down.
Well, they're moving the football here. I mean, it's probably down 31-0.
On the close-ups, I can see the color of the helmets when I look at the monitor. Then when it gets pulled way back, I have a little trouble to.
We can switch seats if you want. You could be right in front of the monitor if you'd like.
Let's see what Mr. Kangas, Cody Kangas of Manistee back at quarterback for this play. And he will fake, run the option, and probably the best option he had was just to keep the football. And let's go down to Mike Bedard, who has one of the West players who recently visited the end zone. Mike?
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Marcus Dunbar of Wakefield Marinesco, running back. Just scored the touchdown to put them up, the West up 31-0. Marcus, how did it feel getting to that end zone?
Feels really nice. Come here to be a running back, and I've been playing tight end lately for some reason. Get a chance to run the ball, and I got about a hole the size of a truck to get through, so it's pretty nice.
How's it feel now that you can look back on this game years and years from now with your kids, and you can show them in the box score, hey, Dad put one in the end zone?
It's pretty awesome if I have them kids. I'll tease them about it most likely. I don't know. It's just fun games, fun playing with these guys. Teams we played against before, so.
You guys up 31-0. You starting to taste a little bit now with about 8 minutes to go?
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks a lot, Marcus. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
You know what the good part about Marcus Dunbar is? He's a good UP kid because he says it like it is. And that's what I love about Class D kids, and that's what I love about being in the UP. You say it like it is. He said the truth.
Oh, boy. That was fun.
That was great.
Was fun.
And that's what makes this game fun, and that's what makes doing sports in the UP fun. No, some of these kids are going to go to college and play football, and I'm thrilled for them. But like most of the rest of the general population, most are not. And to have a kid like that get a chance to get a touchdown from a very small Class D school is cool. That's what makes a game like this fun.
Well, you and I were talking before we went hot with this broadcast. You know, what divisions in high school football are represented, and if Marquette is still D3, you've got Division 3 through Division 8 all represented here in the Superior Dome this afternoon, which is a remarkable thing.
Brian Vieser, a nice pass to Mike Poltz. So North Central connects with Marquette on a pass of about 18 yards or so, and that is good for an East first down. Nice throw by Brian. Mike had 1 foot inbounds that I could see, and still high school football, all you need, right?
Well, the East has got to get something going here offensively, down 31-0. I mean, that's about as obvious as I can be with 7:30 to go in the ball game. But, the nice thing about it, too, I mean, you'd never see any quit in an all-star game because guys are out there just trying to have fun. But this East team along the sideline has been following the play up and down. The coaches are still jumping up and down. It's really fun to watch.
But they don't want a 0 on that scoreboard at the end either, and punching one in will be huge. Vieser rolling left this time. Lofts it out for DeLangelo. Makes the catch inside the 30. Nice block to the 25. Gets down to about the 22-yard line. And that will be another first down for the East.
Well, Goings right there out of Munising. Through the block there at about the 28-yard line. That gave DeLangelo out of Nagani. Interesting that those two guys will be helping one another out, being longtime opponents in the Mid-Peninsula Conference. But he sprang him for another 7-8 yards up the sideline.
So now the East getting some momentum. And we'll have a change. Let's see. Now, Cody Kangas comes back in at quarterback, I think, for Manistee. I wouldn't be surprised to see him sneak a play in at running back, but it hasn't happened yet. Casey Harris, the fullback. Chad DeLangelo, the tailback.
There's a combination.
There's a Mid-Penn Conference combination. Kangas back to pass. Had Smith for a second, but he decides to pull it down. He's inside the 15, to the 10, the 5, and out of bounds at the 1.
And again, there's the experience of 4-year varsity quarterback starter. And he saw that his pass play had fallen apart, basically evaporated on him. He was able to get loose, show some moves, and dragged a couple of guys with them. They're actually going to mark him out of bounds at about the 3.5-yard line. Instead, the original mark had been around the 1. They're going to back him up a touch, but that's what experience does for you right there, Mike. And Cody Kangas, one of the best.
Okay. John Troyer's now the Angus back of Engadine. He's the fullback in this set, and Pete Formolo of Sault Ste. Marie's the tailback. This should be fun. Knock somebody down, John. Run to the 1.
Well, they got to give him the ball this time. They got to give him the ball this time.
You think Troyer's going to get the football?
Give it to the big fella.
If Wakefield Marinisco can score, so can Engadine.
Give the big fella the football, Jeff.
Come on, Jeff.
We don't have heights and weights listed here on the.
I'll cheat. Hold on. I'll go back to my book.
Give Troyer the football. He'll knock the wall over behind the east end zone. See that NMU Sports Hall of Fame on the wall over there? They got him at fullback, and he's going to be the lone man in the backfield here, Mike.
Oh, boy. Angus back special. 6.5 minutes to go. Come on, John. Okay, not the smoothest.
He got it.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I got to vote no, sorry. John, you're going to have to take another shot at it here. Where did John's stats
go? When you're not accustomed to being in the backfield and getting a handoff, there's an extra split second or two that it can take to get that play running, and they're going to leave the big fella in there, Luds.
6'1", 290.
So he's like me.
Yeah, not quite. 73 tackles and 10 sacks this year for the Engadine Eagles. And what do you think? They got a foot or less?
Third and a foot.
Oh, that's less than a foot.
They got Hares, who's going to be the tailback. And they bring Delisle in, too.
Oh, good grief.
This rivals a lot of D3 college in size. Give it to the big fella.
Come on. Hares.
And yes, he's going to get in.
Touchdown.
Good. All right, we'll give Lawler an assist.
We'll give Troyer the assist. Goal scored at 9:29 of the, can we say fourth period in football, Mark?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
A great offensive play.
Nice drive.
And they did it the right way. They did it the right way. They kept their heads about them. They didn't get weird. They didn't get wacky and pull out all the trickery and stuff like that. They just kept to the basics, and a nice drive there by the East All-Stars.
So now we get to say J.P. Terrio's name for the first time in a couple hours. The Sault Ste. Marie kicker will be kicking at St. Norbert College.
I've never seen a kid.
And yes, you're not seeing things.
Barefoot on his plant foot.
He's barefoot on both feet.
And he's got a
sock on, but he doesn't kick with shoes on. That's something
they've outlawed that at most high school levels. In a lot of states, they've outlawed that. I was unaware that Michigan still allowed that. But I've never seen a kid with a barefoot plant foot. He's going to plant on the barefoot and fire it through with the sock.
Yes. Well, you don't want to plant on the sock because you'll slip on the sock.
Well, as I know, they've outlawed it in Wisconsin because I was one of the last ones that they allowed to kick barefoot, but I had a shoe on the other foot.
That's also why you got to love the UP.
Well, we've definitely seen a little bit of everything, haven't we? That's true.
Okay, 31-7. West in the lead. East is on the board. This is good. And that makes everybody happy now because now we've got everybody on, at least both teams on the board. Now, you think Jeff goes for the onside kick here?
I've watched Jeff Olson's teams at Ishpeming since 1998. And I am not ever surprised by anything Jeff does. 31-7, 5:30 to go. Hey, why not? Why not?
Let's see, 31-7. With that touchdown, that makes it the highest scoring All-Star game combined.
Yep.
38 total points, exceeding the 31 total points from the 1947 game in which the North beat the South 25-6. I knew I was going to dig that one up sooner or later.
There's another Mohawk, see?
Yeah, that's Damien.
I've got 3 Mohawks on the East team.
I think the East definitely has the lead on this one. Oh, yeah, forgot the Hula Bowl rule.
Right.
They get the ball back.
You might want to explain that.
Well, it's the simplest way I can say it, though. In the Hula Bowl, if you're trailing by, I think they said 12 points or more.
It's like a mercy rule sort of thing.
Yeah, to prevent the game from completely getting out of hand, you can have the ball back after you score a touchdown when you're behind by a certain number of points. That's Joe Molesky making the catch inside the 5-yard line. He's out to the 15, the 20, the 25. He's still moving to the 33-yard line, where the East will line it up and try again. Looks like Michael Goldsworthy of Lakeland and Hubble, one of the West players in on that tackle. And Brian Vieser will come out and run the offense this time, the North Central grad for the East squad.
Well, it's a 31-7 West lead here, Mike Ludlam, but you'll notice maybe something that I've noticed, and that is there is not one person that's left this building.
Not very many.
No. A lot of folks, of course, coming from well outside the area to come watch, obviously, but the crowd has stayed, and I think they've been treated to a pretty good afternoon here so far.
All right, looks like Pete Formolo of Sault Ste. Marie is the fullback, Casey Harris of Ishpeming the tailback. And a short pitch. And Casey's looking for room, and he runs into the other number 20, and that is Mr. Dan Shoquist. Dan Shoquist of Kingsford, putting him out of bounds. Give him a gain of about 2.5 yards. You want to call it 3?
I'd say a loss.
Oh, that is in the other direction, isn't it? This is what I get for not looking at the monitor and trying to look across field sometimes.
I said I'll switch seats if you want to stare at the monitor.
Monitors get boring. Okay, so 2nd and 12.5, 13 yards to go. And another pitch, Formolo gets it. He's looking to throw. Oh, not a bad attempt, but very, very good coverage by the West. And
Goings was open, but honestly,
but not very much. Jamie Matson of West Aaron County was pretty close.
If that ball had been thrown further upfield, that may have been pass interference. But again, an uncatchable ball. It landed about 5 yards shy of the receiver, but there was some contact upfield.
So that'll bring us to 3rd and about 12.5, 13 yards to go. We're down to 5:13 in the ball game. And I had mentioned earlier, and we talked about trying to get all the entities together. If you could see how many people bought ads in this program, this is thick. A lot of people thanked for sponsoring this game, and Kangas is in trouble. Shakes one sack attempt, doesn't quite shake the second one. And is that Mr. Zweifel again?
You heard it here, folks.
I think so. The Norway Knight, future St. Norbert Green Knight, has been very busy on the defense today.
Okay, go back to the support, really, of this program. There's families that are showing support. There's businesses.
Everywhere.
There's alumni. There's booster clubs. I don't know if we can get a shot up here or not, but there's phone books in UP communities that aren't this thick.
No. Oh, definitely not. Brandon Goings in for the East. The Munising grad ready to punt the ball away. And that's a Brandon Goings punt I like.
Boom.
Nice job, Brandon. Fair catch made by 28. That would be Jamie Matson. And so the West will take over with just under 4.5 minutes to go on its own 29-yard line. 31-7 lead for the West All-Stars.
Despite that, it's been fun.
Yes, it has.
You think of a 31-7 ball game as not being a whole lot of fun to watch, but we've had a little bit of everything. We've had some good running plays, some great defensive plays. In a lot of all-star games, you see a lot of sloppiness. We haven't seen that. We have not had a lot of penalties. I think there's been two hankies the entire time that we've been here. Just the one turnover so far. So again, a very well-played high school level football game is Goings. I don't know if you saw that off screen or not.
No, I was Skradsky of Escanaba.
Skradsky threw Dustin Harris from Houghton to the turf and then proceeded to walk over and help him up.
I think that was Josh Drosy that had the handoff on that play. And let's send it down to the sidelines where Mike Bedard has found someone. Michael.
Thanks, Mike. I got Casey Harris here, who just punched in the first points for the East squad. And Casey, how did it feel getting in the end zone?
It was good, but, you know, it would have been nice for the whole team to do that a couple more times before that. But, yeah, it was cool.
It was pretty much smash mouth football down there on that play, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had 11 guys in the box. They did. Just glad we got one in.
How did it feel, Coach Olson, giving you the ball again one more time?
It was pretty cool. I mean, kind of cliche, but it was fun. Had the ball enough this year.
Thanks a lot, Casey. And he's been in the end zone a lot in his career, 50 touchdowns. Back to upstairs to you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Think about that for a moment, though.
Yeah.
50 touchdowns in high school football.
Josh Drosy with a path to the outside, and the Kings regress the 40, the 45, the 50. And will he be caught? I don't think so. That's a touchdown. Give him 68 yards. And the West is on the board again. Not only we've talked about Ethan Shaver with outstanding speed. This young man also with some darn good speed that NMU will be happy to have in its backfield or its defensive backfield, depending on where he plays.
And you talked about will he beat the two defenders. You talk about some speed that was back there. Chad Delangelo defensively from Nagani, and I believe that was TJ Black from Westwood.
Or Farley.
Either one of those. And so he not only did he show some speed, he had to beat some speed.
Yes, he did.
Down that sideline. So here we are under 3 minutes, and the West now really able to pour it on. And that's really the first huge play we've seen from scrimmage here all afternoon.
And the West offensive line getting the job done again in the trenches. Oh, don't fall too far backward, Tim. You may block the extra point by accident. Tim Wheeler shoved in the backfield a little bit. Thought Nick Koskanimi was going to hit him, but the extra point once again is good. And the West is now in front 38-7. For not doing something like this before, it's been all right. Now if we can, now just like the players, you want to tweak it and touch it up a little bit. And doing a sporting event like this for the first time is not going to be perfect, but it's been fun. And I'm having hopefully as much fun as the players are having.
Well, yeah. Bottom line in this whole thing, Mike, is this really is for the kids. You know,
That's right.
This is for the boys, and it's like you said, it's a great opportunity for them to have something to look forward to. You know, not all of these guys are going to wind up going on to. Not all these guys are going to go on to playing college football or you know, really anything after this. A lot of these guys, this is the end of their athletic career. So to get one last showcase out there, and for some of these guys to play for their coach one last time.
And in many cases, I mean, when you only have 8 state champions, most of the time you go off the field for the last time is after a loss.
Yep.
Well, for many of these kids today, obviously on the west side, they're going to go off the field with a victory for the last time, and that wasn't something they had planned on before this year.
And before we kick this ball off, it was noted here before the game was played, before the national anthem, there's a good handful of these young men that are also going to go into our military services, either in the Army, the Air Force.
Tim Tucker of Ontonagon and Lance Engman of Newberry.
And so our best wishes with them for basic training and what have you, but really
Delangelo is still on his feet. He's over the 50, the 45, the 40, and darned if that Zweifel guy brought him down again. How many times has Delangelo had touchdowns spoiled by his wife?
And Chad Delangelo, bless his heart, had to cover that last touchdown that went for 68 yards too. So that's over 100 yards of running right there that he had to do with and without the football. And Zweifel, again, a great athlete. You and I have watched him in basketball, football for years down in Norway. And again, Chad Delangelo is not easy to catch. And he was able to grab him and bring him down.
So the East gets another shot here with 2:42 left in the contest on the West 36-yard line. Cody Kangas, Amanda Steek, the future NMU football player, is your quarterback. One back in the backfield is Delangelo, and he's back to pass, and he's looking deep now, and Delangelo has got the ball inside the 5-yard line, and he is brought down at the 2 by number 44, Jordan Mackey of Baraga.
And again, showing the versatility that I've always talked about with Chad Delangelo. You know, playing defensive back, returns the kickoff into the West territory, and now he's on the receiving end of about a 35-yard toss from Cody Kangas.
Chad, you might want to take a seat. That's heavy breathing on a day like this.
Are you kidding? Jeff Olson's going to keep him in there. Another Mohawk, 4-0.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Nowak. Yeah, I saw his earlier. Right. Okay. Joe Delisle just came in for Manistee, so they're quickly informing him of the play. Mike Potes is flanked out to the bottom of the screen. Damian Smith up at the top. Peter Formolo, Sault Ste. Marie is the tailback, and he gets the handoff, and Kyle Zweifel, gosh darn it, he is all over the football field, isn't he?
Did he throw a shoulder into Formolo?
Wow. Mid-Penn Conference has known this for years. Everybody else is now finding out. Kyle Zweifel could play football.
Well, the tip of the hat goes to every one of these young men out here. We've not seen a bad play in this entire game.
Some that weren't executed properly, but in terms of bad, no.
Athleticism, etc. It's been fun to watch.
Okay, second down. Kangas fakes. Oh, Gal Delisle's right there, but Zweifel is there again. Gets it inside the 1.
Well. Give it to Troyer. I want the big guy in there, Jeff.
I know, I do too. I gotta see who. Well, let's see.
Well, it's third and about an inch here, and this is where you bring the
quarterback.
Give it to Troyer.
Yeah, he's not in though. Yeah, I know. I agree with you. Joe Delisle will be the running back out of Manistee. Well, let's see. Manistee's going to get the football here one way or another, and it's Kangas, and
I don't think he got it.
I don't think so either. Somebody in is that blue helmet absolutely buried himself at the bottom of the stack. And who is that? 78.
Well, Matt Cowling from Lantz got low, and Kangas did not get in. So 29 seconds to go, fourth down.
Fourth down. Let's go down to Mike Bedard. Mike has an interview. Mike?
Excel Sports Training.
Thanks, Mike. I got Josh Grosey here. Just scored on the longest play from scrimmage so far today. And Josh, you're playing on Northern next year. Looks like you got to know the lay of the land pretty good so far.
Oh, yeah. It's great to get out here and just come out here and play on the turf that I'm going to be on pretty quick, and just to make some friends. It's been a great week, and I'm having the time of my life right now. So.
And describe the play for everybody, especially me, since my back was turned when it happened.
Well, the line couldn't have done a better job. I mean, I had 3 holes to choose from with those guys up there, so I just took the first one I saw, and it was green the rest of the way.
Josh, thanks a lot. Good luck next year.
Thank you.
Back to you guys up top.
Josh Drozey, one of the better Division I sprinters in the Upper Peninsula this year. We had a really good Division I UP final in the 100. Jordan Mitchell of Marquette won it. You had Ethan Shaver in the race. You had Josh Drozey of Kingsford in the race. You had West Iron County had a real good runner whose name is now escaping me at the moment. But, I mean, that was one of those races where I had to show all 8 lanes to figure out where the winner was coming from. Usually I can tighten up and show maybe 4 or 6. I had to just really push that one out wide.
See who's in the ball game?
I'm sorry?
Did you see who's in the ball game in the backfield?
Oh, did you have the hotline on? John Troyer, Reggae, 6'1", is now in the game on 4th. And what voice should I use for this?
How about just wow, if they actually give him the pick?
Come on, give it to John. Come on, Engadine. Nope, they gave it the Formolo. Nope.
Either way, he got another assist.
He gets into the end zone. Formolo gets the touchdown, and the East is on the board again. So at 14:36 of the fourth period.
So Troyer's got an assist on both touchdowns.
That's good. We need to contact St. Norbert College and let them know he can play Angus back. That's all right. He's got enough teammates in the game. I'm sure they'll tell him. They don't need to hear from us. So 38-13. Extra point coming from J.P. Theriot of Sault Ste. Marie.
And barefoot with the plant foot and sock on the kicking foot.
You?
I've not seen that one before.
I think that's T.J. Black of Westwood, the holder. I'm not positive, though.
Nice play.
Very nicely done. Thank you.
That was Vieser.
Nope, that was Vieser holding. Had the red helmet.
All right, let's see if they make the mistake of kicking to Chad Delangelo again.
Well, Lawler hasn't had a chance to return from Rudyard yet. Maybe they'll put him in the middle. Let him touch the football
Let's
back
put him
there.
the only one back there. 38-14, but you take a look at that score. This has been a very, very entertaining little fun little game to watch.
It has been a little one-sided. Well, okay, that happens. But there is, I was going to say, there is a trophy presentation after the game. But, and we should be able to stick around for that as we get both teams back on the field. Just want to thank everybody involved with this telecast from TV6. I didn't get a list, and I'm not sure we're going to get, as they say in television, a crawl at the end. But lots of people from the station and from our sister station down at WPBN in Traverse City helping us with the logistics of getting this on the air. Certainly like to thank Northern Michigan University for allowing XL Sports Training to use the Superior Dome for this week of activity, not just the game itself, but the workouts and all involved with that. Nick Koskanemi kicking it back, and
that's a North Dickinson helmet.
Yeah, Damian Smith, thank you, gets the ball out to the 20-yard line with 20 seconds to go, so he gets a chance to return a kickoff. And now let's see who comes. It looks like Kangas will come back in at quarterback for the East.
Another Mohawk.
Oh, you found another Mohawk. Yeah, I think the East definitely wins the Mohawk battle. Obviously, there is.
And you know, Mom, I'm horrified at that.
This, of course, leads to the next question of who gave the haircuts. Did they go to somebody in Marquette, or did they do that?
Oh, that was a locker room special right there.
Yeah. Kangas back to pass, looking for Goings. Amunising makes the catch, and he will get to the 30-yard line. And a gaggle of white shirts will bring him down, led by Dave Oshis, whose grandfather we talked to a few minutes ago. Axel Anderson, who played in the. Did you see a water bucket?
I think Coach Santilli's going to be getting an early shower here if he hasn't already.
Well, let's find the water bucket. Now, yes, you're not allowed to go off the water bucket now. You can't shoot the game. You have to stay with the water bucket. Kangas. Oh, we got a reverse here. Delisle to Damian Smith, looks like. And he's got a hold. Oh! And the Turf Monster gets him at the 37-yard line. There's the bucket. Oh, 2-1, just dump it. He's not out of, he didn't even get a first down. Dump the bucket. Dump the bucket. Jowsma in charge from Ewan Truck Creek of the bucket.
They can win a football game, but they can't put 2 and 2 together here.
Now, back to the bucket. There we go. Okay. Oh, Scott Body, the recipient. Not even Coach Santilli gets that one. 38-14, that 38-14 is the final. The West wins the UP All-Star football game. We will be back in just a moment with the trophy ceremony. We're back at the Superior Dome. I'm Mike Ludlam along with Mark Evans. They're completing the congratulations after a very entertaining football game at the UP All-Star football game. The West winning by the score of 38-14. The table has been brought out to midfield, placed on the N of the Northern helmet. And you can see some of the happy West All-Stars there. Worked very hard for this victory today, as did teams from the East, the players from the East, but we're going to come back with the trophy ceremony. We need to thank our sponsors, and we need to get a few more commercials in, so we'll do that right now. We'll be right back here on TV6. And as you can see, the table is on the field. The trophy is on the field as they are ready to make the presentation of the trophy to the West All-Stars for their convincing football victory today. Going into the game, if you look at things, believe such things as on paper, the West with 2 state champion teams at Menominee and Forest Park appeared to have the edge, and they were able to execute better.
You know, but again, you know, as we saw with All-Star games, and you see this quite a bit, they took advantage of the momentum in this ball game. You know, individual talent-wise, they were terrific. Line play, like we said, very, very strong. I think the offensive and defensive lines were really controlled by the West a little bit more so than the East, but they played the right game at the right time. They took advantage of the fumbled punt, ran it in for a touchdown. Got it in a little bit deeper, their next drive, kicked the field goal. They took advantage of the opportunities that were in front of them. You know, the West really never got going. They never really got things where they wanted to be. They got the 2 touchdowns at the end, but by then, you know, this game had been really dominated by the West. So they took advantage of the momentum and really kept it going, and that's the sign of good players, and the coaching staff for both teams really should be congratulated.
Okay, let's go down the field.
Character award. And I'm going to do the East first, okay? The offensive MVP is Cody Kangas, number 22 from Manistee. Okay, defensive MVP for the East is Levi Jezik, number 42 from Nagani. And the character award for the East is Jack Audette, number 61 from North Dickinson. And now for the West. Offensive MVP, Emmett Bjorn, number 4 from Calumet. Now for defensive MVP, Kyle Zweifel, number 45 from Norway. And for the character award, number 15, Ethan Shaver from Menominee.
Now we'd like to present a game ball, an autograph ball.
And now we'd like to present autograph ball from all the players to the coaches who dedicated their time this week to these boys. So
Coach Olsen,
first East is Coach Olsen from Ishpeming High School. And for the West, Coach Santilli from Forest Park.
Thanks, EJ. We're very happy to have Northern Michigan Bank and Trust be the platinum sponsor for this event. And now we'd like to get the West coaches up here to make some comments.
We spent all week here thanks to this gentleman right here, so we thought it'd be a good token of appreciation to present him with the game ball and a little standing ovation, especially from you guys, because if without Todd's work here and his wife and all of his people.
Thanks for all the hard work. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us on this inaugural telecast of the UP All-Star Football Game. I'm Mike Ludlam, along with Mark Evans and a host of other people and fans and XL Sports Training and the NMU and a whole bunch of people to thank. Thank you for joining us and continue to enjoy your weekend.
I'd like to present the traveling trophy to the West All-Stars.
This trophy